I can't help but confuse the things you want me to do for what I wanna accomplish in life. 29, I'm thinking I'm no good for you, you're no good for me. There's a better way. Why is it so hard to put you into the past? It's a both hands tied to your side, 'cause I can't help but confuse the things you want me to do for what I wanna accomplish in life. 29, I'm thinking I'm no good for you, you're no good for me. There's a better way. Why is it so hard to put you into the past? It's a to your side, 'cause I can't help but confuse the things you want me to do for what I wanna accomplish in life. 29, I'm thinking I'm no good for you, you're no good for me. There's a better way. Why is it so hard to put you into the past? It's a matter of time. We both know this will never last. We were both 21. Our only motive was fun, but then we loaded that gun, trampled on what was young, and it just occurred to me that I've been wasting away. I think I'm finally good to move on, right or wrong. Why is it so hard to put you into the past? It's a matter of time. We both know this will never last. Silly me, silly you, we were thinking. Found the ground, but we're hanging from the ceiling. How do I make it back? In the background, got to move on now. Stuck in the background, got to move on now. Why is it so hard to put you into the past? Why is it so hard to put you into the past? It's a matter of time. We both know this will never last. Silly me, silly you, we were thinking. Found the ground, but we're hanging from the ceiling. How do I make to your side, 'cause I can't help but confuse the things you want me to do for what I wanna accomplish in life. 29, I'm thinking I'm no good for you, you're no good for me. There's a better way. Why is it so hard to put you into the past? come. I ain't going nowhere, so you better run. I'm a giant, and I never fall. The biggest in the game, I want it all. I'm a giant, like a riot. I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. I'm a giant, the biggest in the game. I'm a giant, I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. And I never fall, no, and I want it all.
This week's Dragon football broadcast is brought to you by Watts Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell Briggs Freeman Southlake, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm Fidelity National Title, Tommy Pennington Realty Group, Macero, All Star Orthopedics, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, First Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, AC Pros, and Mills Wealth Advisors.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Carroll Dragon Pregame Show, sponsored by Kim Bedwell Real Estate. Now here's your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
A look at Dragon Stadium in Southlake, where district play starts tonight, and it's a big one right out of the chute as Carroll welcomes in Byron Nelson from just down the road in Trophy Club. The Bobcats handed the Dragons their only regular season loss a year ago, as you hear the referees test their microphones down on the field, right on cue this evening. But it was the Dragons' only regular season loss last year and prevented Carroll from winning a district title for the first time in Riley Dodge's tenure. But the Dragons got the last laugh, knocking Byron Nelson out of the playoffs in the fourth round in emphatic fashion. It's also Dragon Youth Football Night here in Southlake, so young Dragons of all ages will be in the house. And with that, we welcome you into the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. We'll look at Riley Wormley there getting loose tonight. Chris Blake with you this evening, along with Robert Clayton, our statistician Scott Farrell, director Tim Polster, and producer Bill Webb. Carroll coming off a 59-16 win over Hebron last week. The Hawks kept it close for a few series, but as soon as they made a couple of mistakes, the Dragons capitalized and never looked back. Robert, what stood out to you?
Well, Chris, I think what stood out was the execution on both sides of the ball. You know, offensively, the Dragons had 467 yards of total offense, 8 touchdowns, while being about 60% run and 40% pass. And Chris, I really think that is the key for the success for the Dragon offense. Now, defensively, the development of the front seven continues to impress me. The secondary was actually tested with the short intermediate throws, but the adjustments by Lee Munn and staff saw that timing passing game by Hebron kind of taper off by the second quarter.
Byron Nelson on the other side had a thrilling last-minute win over Louisville last week. Quarterback Grant Bizjack hit Leo Almanza for a 54-yard touchdown reception with under a minute to play as the Bobcats beat the Farmers 32-28. Louisville's a good team, so this is a Bobcats team that, even though it's lost a little bit from last year's district title group, still dangerous.
Well, they are. They return a veteran running back in Tucker James. You know, the offensive line, of course, I want to talk about the offensive line, Chris. The offensive line is athletic, and they can get out and pull and make plays in space, which makes it a pretty effective running game. Grant Bizjack is currently third in the area in passing with 612 yards, 8 TDs, and 0 interception. He brings another dimension to the Bobcat offense with his legs, but you got to be careful. He can get the deep ball to his playmakers as well. That
was one of the keys for them last year, too. Tom Von Grote, I think at the time Carroll played him, only had a couple of interceptions on the entire season at that point. It was late in the year by then. But as I just mentioned, tonight does mark the start of district play. We've talked about it some, but in case you're just catching up, there's a few new teams in District 4-6A. Trinity, LD Bell, and Northwest are in. Fossil Ridge dropped down to 5A. Haltom City also out. So it is a 9-team district, which means there's one less non-district game. And with district play already here, Robert, how do the Dragons accomplish their first goal every season?
And this is coach speak, but you have to take each game one at a time. Carroll is everyone's Super Bowl, whether it is a crosstown rival, is it for bragging rights, or is it a program-defining win? Majority of these kids have been playing against each other in the youth ranks for many years. Coach Dodd says it best. You can't go by last year's results. These are two different teams. The goal for district championship starts tonight, though, Chris.
And finally, it is Dragon Youth Football Night here at Dragon Stadium, a night where Southlake kids get a chance to be recognized on the field during the game this evening. And one of the reasons that Dragon Pride does run so deep in this city is because everyone's a Dragon, from grade 1st through 12.
It is. It's one town, one Dragon, one heartbeat. From the moment you start the DYF program, your Dragon career has started. Andrew Griever has taken over the ranks as the DYF president. Griever has a 1st and 5th grader in the community. But, Chris, all the kids have the same dreams of playing on Friday nights. I can remember the names of Rinda, Boyd, Penn, while in DYF among the majority of the Dragons on this 2024 team. It has been incredible to watch the development of just the Dragon players who are playing tonight. And not only that, but also the Lady Dragon flag program that started last year. Chris, we talk a lot about Friday Night Lights, but Saturdays in Southlake are something so special. Every field is taken. Teams are geared up for their chance at the Super Bowl. And if I may, Chris, I want to give a little shout out to my 4th grade Dragon Green football team as they take on Argyle White. And good luck to all Dragon youth football players tomorrow.
I got a chance to see you out here coaching them up when we came out for a run through here in the booth before the season started. Out there getting after them on the field at Dragon Stadium. So we know that's you every Saturday.
Well, we enjoy it. I enjoy it. I tell you what, it is special. Just to pass it on to the next generation, and it is so fun watching those kids play. Gosh, they have amazing hearts.
Well, we have a busy 35 minutes or so before kickoff on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. We'll hear from head coach Riley Dodge, take a look around the district, bring you the starting lineups, but first we'll break down both sides of the ball. That's next as we count you down to kickoff between Carroll and Byron Nelson on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 Dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown. Hello,
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium as we continue on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. Carroll getting ready to host Byron Nelson tonight in the District 4 6A opener. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you as we break down the Carroll offense ahead of tonight's game. And Robert, this is a Dragon team that in the 59-16 win over Hebron last week scored 8 touchdowns. 6 of those came on the ground. 3 for Riley Wormley, 2 for Davis Penn, and 1 for third-team quarterback Preston Perazzo. What made the ground game so dominant against the Hawks?
Well, first of all, let's talk about Preston Perazzo. If you go back and watch the film when he scored, and you can see the whole team light up in the fourth quarter, it's just incredible, and that shows the passion each of these guys have for each other. But Chris, you know what I'm going to say. The answer is the big guys up front. For this unit being so young, they are really playing at a high level. They're executing the zone scheme by maintaining the combination blocks. They're getting to the second level. And if you can get to the second level, you can make this duo in the backfield successful. Some of these holes, Chris, I can run backwards through, and I have 2 left feet.
Hey, you're pretty nimble. I think you can give yourself a little more credit than that, getting into the end zone. Maybe not as nimble as Angelo Renda, though. The Carroll quarterback for the second straight week had a productive night. Efficient last week, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did fumble a snap, but Coach Riley Dodge said it just slipped out of his hands, and things happen every once in a while. But aside from the one early turnover, what did the junior quarterback look like to you?
Dynamic. Angelo was settling in as the field general for the offense. He has so much athletic ability, but what I love about him is that he's staying in the pocket. He's making the throws. Not just running. He's making the first and second reads. Chris, he's doing a tremendous job.
And one of his favorite targets, of course, this season has been Brock Boyd. He caught 6 passes for the second week in a row. But the receiver who really seemed to take a big step forward last week was sophomore Brody Knowles.
Yeah, well, big in multiple ways. The 6'5" Knowles is really making a name for himself. Chris, he's such a big target, and he's incredibly athletic. You're seeing a guy that can stretch the field, be a weapon in the red zone, and go get the jump ball. He's reminding Dragon Nation of a former Dragon great, Scott Chandler, who played at Iowa in the NFL, Chris.
You see on the screen there, averaging about 30 yards a catch last week. Not bad, with one that would have been an outstanding catch that was just inches away from his grasp.
And he's just a sophomore, but he's got the pedigree. His father's an incredible professional tennis player. We know his brother's at Georgia Tech. He has a lot of development. It's a great game for the young sophomore last week.
And this is the Byron Nelson defense that was its calling card last year. Going into the Byron Nelson game a year ago, we talked a lot about the 4 Division I starters they had on that defense. Those guys are gone now. So what do you see on this Byron Nelson defense this year and how they defend the Dragon offense?
Well, number one, they want to prevent the big play. That's how their defense is designed. You'll see a lot of cover 2 in the back. The corners will actually play some soft coverage at times. Expect them to try to keep the Dragons in front of them. How the back end plays in space will be the deciding factor tonight, I believe, Chris. Now, up front, they are predominantly a 4-man front that will slip into a 3-man front to get more defenders in coverage without making any substitutions. The front 7 has to mix it up. I'm talking blitzes. They got to play the games. They're going to have to do some twisting. They're going to have to make it hard on the young Dragon offensive line.
That's how this Dragon offense stacks up against the Byron Nelson defense. We'll flip it when we come back, talk about how the Dragon defense matches up against the Bobcat offense. That's next, the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified trained dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
Hey Dragon fans, it's Tommy Pennington here with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Do you think you need to do improvements to sell your home? Start planning today. Inquire about our Compass Concierge program. It's the hottest program in real estate where our broker will pay for the improvements at zero cost to you. Call us today at 817-416-9000 or check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon fans to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com. Southlake.
Welcome back to the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show on the Dragon Sports Network as we get you set for the district opener between Carroll and Byron Nelson. One that could go a long way in determining the winner of this district, as it did prove to be the de facto district championship game a season ago. But Carroll, of course, got revenge by way of a 56-7 throttling in the playoffs over in Arlington at the old Rangers ballpark. Well, we just broke down the Carroll offense and how it stacks up against this Byron Nelson defense. Now let's look at the Dragon defense. And Robert, one of the biggest changes on the Carroll defense last week was up front. The Dragons sacked Hebron quarterback Patrick Creighton Jr. 6 times. That after they slid Austin Davidge outside to end and started Jackson Oakley at tackle. How did that move affect the D-line play?
Well, I think, two ways, Chris. Number one, you move Davidge back out to the edge, and you're going to get that speed for the edge rusher. Now, Oakley's a bigger body. He's going to occupy those linemen, and I think ultimately that's what the staff is looking for. Davidge is so quick, and he can play the heel line very well. Oakley gives a bigger body that occupies the O-line and allows the linebacker core to make plays. Simple as that.
And one of the standouts defensively last week for the Dragons was linebacker Will Lines. He had 8 tackles, 2 for a loss, a sack, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. How did he grow from week 1 to week 2?
Well, I think with anything, just getting more experience and getting the assignments down, Chris. I mean, my advice to Will is keep doing what you're doing. Fly to the ball. That's really key for any Dragon linebacker. Make plays in space, be a disruptor, know the assignment so you can play fast. You'll hear coaches say that a lot, is the more you know about what's going to happen, the faster you can play. And right now he's doing a great job. Defensive player of the week, most production points. Great job.
And we talked a little bit about Byron Nelson's quarterback, Grant Bizjack, off the top, but he is replacing Tom Von Grote, who is off to the University of North Texas. A lot of their other skill players are back. They've turned over the entire offensive line, though. But Bizjack has been key so far in their first 2 games. They've scored a lot of points. The 2 wins for Byron Nelson, 48-46 over Friendship in week 1, and then the 32-28 last-minute win over Louisville last week. So how does the offense operate differently with Bizjack under center?
Well, it's like you said, Bizjack is very similar to Van Groot, but he adds a good deep ball to the mix, paired with the ability to run and scramble. But with, bar none, they're going to have the run game. And they do a lot of what I say, pulling to the linemen. You're going to see a lot of GT counter. You're going to see pulling of the guards on buck sweep, a lot of read option. Ultimately, for this Byron Nelson offense to keep having success, they're going to have to establish that run game.
And Tucker James so far this season, 123 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Had a huge season a year ago, 1,300 yards, 26 touchdowns. And then Leo Almanza, the Baylor commit, their big target out wide. He had 3 touchdowns against Louisville on the year, 9 catches, 190 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So that's a quick look at how the Dragon defense matches up against the Bobcat offense. When we come back, we will hear from Carroll head coach Riley Dodge ahead of the district opener on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, we truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place, from the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched. We're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
We continue to get you set for Carroll and Byron Nelson tonight, and the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show continues on the Dragon Sports Network. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. Coach, a win over Hebron last week to wrap up your non-district schedule. How do you think you guys looked?
Yeah, I was very proud of our guys, especially early in the game. A little adversity hit us fast, but resilient group, found a way to get some stops early on defense and then reset offensively and, had a lot of short drives, but cashed in quick. we're proud of our guys. First time on the road. We always talk about it's a bus. It's us and a bus, and that's all we need. So just proud of the way our kids handled their first road trip.
And it was another big day for Brock Boyd, 6 catches last week, but the highlight reel catches came courtesy of a sophomore in Brody Knowles. He had 3 for 91 yards and a touchdown and came so close to making an unreal catch in the end zone. How does he impact the game, especially with his size?
Yeah, I think he had a great night. We wanted to definitely highlight him in certain concepts. We were able to really, cash in those opportunities. Thought Angelo did a great job stepping in the pocket with, offensive line did an unbelievable job all night protecting him. But proud of Brody. We have a good sophomore nucleus in that wide receiver room. But I think the biggest thing you see from them early in the season, they're a mature group that love to work during the week. And so I think that's something you're always, interested in when they're a young guy. How good of a practice player are they, and will it translate to the field? And Brody does an unbelievable job of that.
On the defensive side for you guys, it seemed like Will Lyons was everywhere last week. 8 tackles, 2 for a loss, a sack, forced fumble, and a recovery. What did you see from him, and how do you see his role evolving on the team as the season goes along?
Yeah, we feel like we have some really good depth in that linebacker room. Some older guys and some juniors. And so Will had a great night. He just did his job at a high level, made some really big tackles in the open field. I think he's the kid. It means a lot to him, just like the rest of our linebackers. And he was really dialed in the game plan, and he saw the fruit of his labor.
You also made a change up front defensively, moving Austin Davidge to end and starting Jackson Oakley at tackle. 6 sacks against Hebron. So I imagine you're feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's he played inside last year. We moved him to D end in the spring, and then through fall camp, and then obviously with Jack moving over to D line, we've messed around with certain things, but we moved him back probably to his more natural position at D end. But had a really good night. High motor guy. We're just going to need to continue to get his senior leadership while he's also a captain.
I should specify 6 sacks as a team, not 6 for Davidge. That would be quite the performance. But yeah. I do want to get to Byron Nelson in just a minute, but tonight does mark the start of district play. So Trinity, LD Bell, Northwest are in. Fossil Ridge, Haltom City are out. What did you think when you saw the new alignment?
Yeah, obviously a quality district, similar faces, some new opponents with adding LD Bell and Trinity, but just a quality district. Really good coaches in our district, some really good football teams, and some traditional powerhouses. And with that in Trinity, I think that it's a solid district that you got to be ready each and every week because you're going to get it by his best shot.
And you do take on that Byron Nelson team tonight that beat you in the regular season last year, but you got them when it counts in the playoffs. And we talked about this some before last year's game in the playoffs, but how does the district loss impact the messaging to your team going into tonight?
Yeah, to be honest with you, not a lot. I think both programs, I think that, I do, and I know Coach Pry does probably as well. We got 2 new football teams, Byron Nelson and us. We have a bunch of new faces in both field houses that haven't played a lot of football. So, it's about managing your emotions throughout this football game, and just trying to find a way to get a W. That it doesn't really matter what it looks like, but we know the challenge we have in front of us. They've done an unbelievable job over the last several years. They are trending in the right direction as a program, and it's a program that has the entire Metroplex on notice. So everybody's aware of who Byron Nelson is and where Trophy Club is now. Used to be a small little tiny community, but they've done an unbelievable job in what they've done program-wise. So we got a tall task at hand, and our kids understand the challenge in front of us.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time, and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Chris.
Dragons head coach Riley Dodge joining us on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. Starting lineups and opening kickoff coming up next on the Dragons Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Hey Dragon fans, Tommy Pennington here. Like the Carroll Dragons, my team understands it takes great fans to be a winner. I want to personally thank all of our Tommy Pennington Realty Group fans for their loyalty and ongoing support. It's because of you we continue to support our Dragon organizations every year. Please remember we love helping Dragon families with all of their real estate needs. I'm here to give you the best advice and to help you anytime. My Dragon fans would tell you,
Call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game. This is Dr.
Side gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown Dragons.
District play starts tonight in Southlake at Dragon Stadium, where Carroll hosts Byron Nelson in what could go a long way towards determining the District 4-6A title. There's Dragon Youth Football Night here in Southlake, so a lot of on-field festivities going on before we get underway. We're about 10 minutes from kickoff on this Friday evening. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, our statistician Scott Farrell, director Tim Polster, and producer Bill Webb. It's a little bit warmer tonight than it has been the first couple weeks of the season. Right now, 91 degrees. We got up to 95 today. Get a look at some of the Dragons' skill players down on the field.
Chris, you look at the stadium tonight, not to echo in Phil Collins, but you can feel it in the air tonight a little bit. It is an incredible sight. I tell you what, Dragon Youth Football Night is nothing short than a monumental event. There's so much planning, so much coordination. Great job by everyone involved in DYF. You know, getting the opportunity to see these kids run through the Dragon is pretty incredible. You get the parents involved, and I tell you what, it was just an army of Dragons coming through here. It was pretty neat.
Oh, they're running through the tunnel for what feels like 5 to 10 minutes. There's just a stream from the cheerleaders to the youth teams to the Lady Dragons flag football, as well as we get a chance to see the Dragon walk through the stands from the concourse down onto the field. And there is one piece of news we haven't mentioned yet that we do need to talk about, and that involves head coach Riley Dodge.
Absolutely. And congratulations to the Dodge family. Today, it was announced earlier that Riley is going to be the new AD for Southlake Carroll. It is a pretty incredible story of a young man that came through the ranks, through the system, youth system, a star quarterback, back as a coach, and now will be doing double duty as the head football coach and the athletic director. And a big shout out to former athletic director Steve Kiesler. His presence here is going to be felt for many years to come. Can't thank you enough for everything that you've done here, but very excited for Riley and an opportunity for his family.
And Kiesler left over the summer for a position at the University of North Texas, so Dodge getting a chance to step into that role as you see the Dragons getting set to come out of the tunnel on the west side of the stadium. Byron Nelson also waiting its turn to run out of its tunnel as the coin toss takes place at the 50. And the Dragons, here they come to start district play at home. So Carroll looking to avenge its lone district loss a season ago. And Robert, coaching staff, players publicly, of course, will always say it's just the next game. But last season was the first time since Coach Dodge has been here that the Dragons did not win the district title. So I would imagine there's a little bit of juice going into this game to get them back.
Well, I think if anyone who was part of those teams last year does feel it, does understand it. Riley does a tremendous job of really kind of laying the foundation for the team, saying, hey, this is a new year, new team. What happened last year doesn't matter. But I don't care what you say as a player and a fan. This game does mean something. And for it to start the really district off is a big, big moment for both these teams and growing opportunities. This game might have implications 8-9 weeks down the road.
Very much so, and maybe the sting reduced a little bit the way Carroll knocked Byron Nelson out of the playoffs last year, emphatically 56-7 on what was an incredible night over at Globe Life Park.
It was incredible. It was, I want to say it was a revenge story, but it was a game to remember.
Byron Nelson, by the way, won the toss and opted to receive the opening kickoff as we get ready for the national anthem, which will be performed by the Dragon Band. The Dragon Band completing the national anthem tonight as we take a look at the Dragon starters for the district opener. And we start in the offensive backfield. The quarterback, Angelo Renda. The two running backs we will see a lot of, Riley Wormley, and Davis Penn. The pass catchers for Carroll tonight, we'll see some combination of this group on the field, Robert, mostly switching off between whether it's Blake Gunter out there or the tight end Jacob Bobrowski.
Absolutely. Across the board, Bobrowski, you have Brody Knowles, Luke Jackamore, Blake Gunter, and Brock Boyd. And we'll head over to the offensive line next. And this is that young, talented group at left tackle. You have Luke Wilson, left guard Trent Wilson, center Kerry Clayton, right guard Nathan Domrocki, and right tackle Tristan Dare.
And defensively for the Dragons up front, it'll be Jack Van Dorsler, Jake Lucky, Jackson Oakley, and Austin Davidge. The linebackers tonight, it's been Browse a mainstay, and Will Lyons and Mateo Fedor will kind of split snaps at the other linebacker spot, though we saw all three of those guys on the field at the same time a lot last week. And in the secondary, the cornerbacks, Luke Busman and Gavin Strange, with Luke Langford, Austin Busman, and William Chen as well. Now, Robert, let's get your keys to a Dragon victory tonight.
Well, I think number one, defensively, you've got to get pressure on Grant Bizjack. Offensively, establish a run game early and often. Know where number 12 is and number 13. They're going to interchange on that defense going from a 4-man front to a 3-man front. Got to be cautious of them. And third, it is DYF night. Let's use this hometown crowd. Let's make a difference and use it to your advantage, Dragons.
So back to receive the opening kick, Ezra Malamura and Leo Almanza for Byron Nelson off the foot of Gavin Strange. This kickoff powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend, or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. And Almanza going to bring it out of the end zone, wrapped up shy of the 20 and brought down there. So Byron Nelson will start at its own 19 after Almanza opted to bring it out of the end zone.
And they're going to see a lot of that with Almanza. He's a dynamic player. He's one of their playmakers. And just like Riley does, he puts them on the special teams as well to make those plays.
Of course, Travis Pride, the head coach of the Bobcats, was at Carroll at one point, not at the same time as Riley Dodge, but maybe that same mindset of getting the ball in your best athlete's hands as much as possible, including on special teams. So Bizjack, the senior quarterback, last week, 264 yards, 4 touchdowns. Week 1, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns. He swings it out into the flat to Almanza on the first snap, across the 20, across the 25. Tackled inbounds there.
And this is what Bizjack excels at. They go into 10 personnel to start the game. You have 1 running back and 4 receivers, no tight end, and they do a good job. They're going to attack the Dragon defense underneath and try to get those little swing passes like they did there.
8-yard gain on first down. Tucker James, the senior running back, to Bizjack's left, and it is James on second down, fighting for the first down marker, and they're going to give it to him at the 30. The other starters for Byron Nelson on offense, senior receiver Ezra Malamura, another senior at wide receiver Josh Engstrom, and Parker Almanza. Across the offensive line, left to right, Justin Biquette, Jaden Smith, Lucas Dempsey, Adam Cartwright, and Christopher Lane, as they come out of the huddle quickly on first down. James runs right into the back of his own lineman and falls forward for a couple. But Robert talked about it briefly earlier. This is an offensive line that has completely turned over from a year ago.
It is. It's a revamped group. They're very athletic, but much like the Carroll offensive line, not a whole lot of experience. So, they're still trying to gain that momentum over the first 3 games, and this is a big test for that offensive line tonight.
A couple of yards on first down for James. He motions out into the right flat, gets it there. Dragons miss 1 tackle. Van Dorsler comes from behind. James gets out of his grasp as well and finally fights forward for about a yard. But the Dragons swarming James after Van Dorsler was able to slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, this is what the Dragon defense has to do. We mentioned it in the pregame about playing in space. They're going to try for these little short passes and get their guys to make plays in space. What you saw there was hat on a hat, Dragon defenders out there, and you saw Van Dorsler make a great play, running the hill line, getting to the receiver.
Byron Nelson offense averaging 453 yards over its first 2 games as Bizjack completes one over the middle. That is Almanza again for the first down.
And again, you'll see Almanza and Bischek. This is what they do. There is smash concept on the receiving side, so you're going to have a curl route there by the interior receiver. They're going to try to attack that soft spot in the Carroll defenses, right between the safeties and the linebackers. They're very efficient at that.
Pickup of 10 there to move the chains. Sean Robinson into the game at running back. He gets it on first down, picks up 3 or 4 yards. Now, when you say smash concept, explain what those routes are.
Well, smash concept is when you're attacking a cover 2 type offense or defense where you're taking one guy high, one guy low. So it's either a corner route or some type of curl route. You're trying to get a mismatch on the soft part of the zone on the defense. That's what Byron Nelson excels at.
That one intended for Engstrom, the senior, who has 93 receiving yards and a touchdown this year. Byron Nelson looking for a flag, but none came, as Strange was in on the coverage there, and it brings up a third down for the Bobcats. Give it to Robinson, bouncing it outside, enough for the first down across the 35, and finally pushed out of bounds by Luke Langford, but not before the chains move again for Byron Nelson. 17 yards.
And again, this run offense and attack by Byron Nelson, they go with the buck sweep, the pulling guards. Very good at that.
Moving quickly, they get it to Almanza again. He's dragged down inbounds, keeps the clock moving. And Luke Bussman in on the stop.
You're feeling a little bit of tempo here with the Byron Nelson offense. They're making the right reads. They're being efficient with the play calling. And systematically, what you have to do against this type of Dragon defense is move it periodically down the field, and they're doing a good job of it so far.
James back into the game at running back. They swing it out to him. Hit quickly, and nice job getting off the block by Langford again, or William Chen that time, I should say, and making the stop.
Again, you see here, this is what Byron Nelson's MO is in be tonight. Swing the ball out, get the guys to play in space, and make their playmakers make plays. But the Dragon defense is doing a great job getting off blocks and making plays.
This is the 11th play coming up of this drive. It is another third down. Bizek swings it out to James. A lot of running room on the right side, across the 20, across the 15, inside the 10 before he is finally brought down there by Browse. Gain of 22. There was nobody left outside of the corner on the right side, or on the left side of that Dragon defense.
And these might as well just be little designed runs that they're doing. They're getting Tucker James out in the flat and exposing the corners, taking off a little bit and getting 7 to 8 yards.
The first and goal, tight formation to the line here. James again picking his way through the line inside the 2, and he pushes his way in for the touchdown. Tucker James finds the end zone on the ground for the 4th time this year. His 6th touchdown overall, and it puts Byron Nelson on the board first, 6-0.
And again, this is the 3rd time you saw the buck sweep where they're pulling number 52 left guard Jaden Smith and Adam Cartwright, the right guard. They're blocking down, then pulling out to the front side. And I tell you what, the Dragons got to pin the ears back and stop it.
Justin Biquette, who is also the left tackle, on for the extra point. It is just up and over the crossbar to make it 7-0 Byron Nelson after the James touchdown. So that comes with 7:30 to go in the first quarter. Dragons first possession coming up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified Trane dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Seven 0 Byron Nelson the score, and Byron Nelson winds up to apparently kick it short. The Dragons don't have a returner deep. They try to pooch it over the head of everybody. Going back to grab it for the Dragons is Luke Jacomart across the 20-25, hit there and dropped by a Bobcat coverage player. And Carroll will start from the 25-yard line, led out there by Angelo Renda, junior quarterback. Last week, 237 passing yards, 2 touchdowns on the year, completing 78% of his passes. So the Byron Nelson defense up front, they're going to come out with 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. In motion comes Boyd. Get it to him on the first play. Fights his way forward for about 6. But Robert, that was a 12-play, 81-yard drive that took 4:23 off the clock and resulted in the James touchdown.
Yeah, like we were saying in the break, Chris, typically when you start out, you're going to have 10 to 12 plays scripted, and they executed on a game plan. Now the Dragons' turn. You're going to see a lot of similarities in some type of offenses.
Wormley across the 35-40, across the 45, just shy of midfield. Riley Wormley showing why he's so dangerous. The USC commit with a big gain to pick up a first down.
And great job by Riley Wormley getting behind Kerry Clayton and Nathan Domrocki. This is an easy inside zone play. Get Wormley out in the open field. A little tempo here by the Dragon offense.
16 for him on the carry. The motion receiver is Gunter. Renda steps up in the pocket. Now Tuckett's going to run across the 50 and slides down at the 45.
Excellent decision by Angelo there. Coverage was great, but as you saw when he scrambled, there was backs turned to him in that Byron Nelson secondary, and Angelo's dangerous with his feet, as you see there. Great read by Angelo Renda.
A lot of movement up front for Byron Nelson. They've gone back and forth between 3 and 4 down linemen. As now Davis Penn into the game. A big burst up the middle. Just lost his footing as he crossed the 25. But a big gain for Davis Penn on second down of 21 yards.
This, mark my words, the Dragon offense is going to earn their keep right in the middle here. You see Domrocki, Kerry Clayton, and Trent Wilson. They're going to follow those big guys. And I tell you what, you get him to the second level, he is hard to bring down. Incredible job by Penn. I tell you what, this duo, Wormley and Penn, is going to be a tough for Byron Nelson tonight.
So Bobrowski, the tight end on the left side of the formation. Wormley back in the backfield. Motions out to the right. Gunter lined up as an H-back. He started to go in motion, and then Riley Dodge decided to call timeout. But we will take one as well with 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's Byron Nelson 7 and Carroll 0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Gunter in motion out to the right side. Wormley gets the pass in the flat, gets out of one tackle, trying to cut it back inside, does across the 15. Nice move by Riley Wormley to make something out of nothing and create a positive play for the Dragons.
Incredible job by Riley Wormley getting the ball again in space, making a move, and not stopping on the play. Had him stopped there in the back by the Byron Nelson cornerback. I tell you, the second effort is tremendous by Wormley tonight.
Picked up 12 yards there. Another first down for Carroll. This one at the 13. Wormley gets it again, right up the gut. Picked up 6.
Bread and butter right behind Luke Wilson and Trent Wilson, the blindside brothers.
This time Wormley stood up in the backfield. Big hit there by the nose tackle, Braden Smith. Or check that, Daryl Natuba there on the inside. Coach Dodge said, when we talked to him earlier this week, that Byron Nelson, from what he's seen, has rotated a lot of guys into that front seven.
Yeah, Daryl Natuba, he wasn't in last week. So Brandon Smith was the one playing. So we didn't know if there was an injury or what happened. But he, just watching film, he was a force interior. He helped solidify that defense.
Jacquemart in motion this time. Swing it out. Penn inside the 5. Did he stay in bounds? Yes. Touchdown Dragons.
Excellent poise by Angela Rinda, finding his target. Penn, I tell you what, when Penn gets that ball, I tell you, he gets a second gear. He finds his nose to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown Dragons. I tell you what, this crowd is very near a sellout here, and I tell you what, they stood up in dramatic fashion. Great job, Dragons, touchdown.
Great atmosphere here at Dragon Stadium tonight. Nearly completely full on both sides of the stadium, as the point after from the Tommy Pennington Compass Group is up and good off the foot of Clark Lemmerman. So with 4:04 to go in the first quarter, we're tied at 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Massaro kickoff coming up off the foot of Gavin Strange. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Massaro and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Massaro, where love is always on the house. Carroll with an 8-play, 75-yard drive that took 3:19 to tie the game at 7 as Strange puts the right foot into it, end over end. This one will not be returnable and bounce in the end zone. And Robert Davis Penn with his first receiving touchdown of the season.
And you don't see that a lot. That's usually taken by Wormley out of the backfield, but a good changeup. Those two backs are dynamic. Now, the scripts are over, Chris. You know, it's going to be wide open here. Coaches are going to figure out what they like, what they didn't like on those first drives. Both teams established the run that they needed to do. So, big series for the Carroll defense. Can you stop this Byron Nelson rush attack and stop the receivers in space?
We talked about some of those skill guys. Leo Almanza going to Baylor. He's a senior. Well, he and Davis Penn will be teammates, but not for a couple more years. It's Robinson in the game instead of James on the first play and fights his way forward across the 30. Robinson, a junior running back.
Read zone by Robinson right up the middle. And that interior front, that's where they find a lot of their success. They'll bounce it outside on the buck sweep from time to time, but they'll also come back and hit you the counter, the tackle GT block.
Ethan Fisher into the game for the Dragons right now as well. He's not one of the starters, but we've seen a lot of him over the first couple weeks of the season, certainly in that defensive backfield rotation, as the misdirection play goes to Robinson. Big hit on him behind the line of scrimmage, and they lose a yard.
A great job by Luke Busman coming in and making the tackle. Now, you've seen a little bit of change on the Dragon defense. They've gone to a three-man front, essentially getting someone a little bit more speed back on the back end, get another defensive back, quote-unquote, linebacker, trying to take care of these Byron receivers playing in space.
Bobcats 3 of 3 on third down tonight. They face another one here. No deep safety over the middle for Carroll. In motion goes Robinson. Pressure on Bizjack, gets it out of his hand anyway. Robinson has enough for the first down across the 35, but Bizjack took a lick as he let it go.
Yeah, it was a great pressure by the Dragon defense, and I liked what Lee Munn was doing there. He was disguising some blitz and dropped them back in coverage, hoping they were going to try to fake for the deep ball there, but read it. A good read by Bizjack and getting into the flat.
7-yard gain to move the chains for Robinson. He gets it again. Big hole up the middle for him this time across the 45, brought down shy of the 50 by Brady Borges, as Carroll really getting a lot of different fresh bodies in there defensively.
Yep. You know, Byron Nelson, first time we see their GT counter, and that's really going to be quick hitting right up the middle. An excellent job by Sean Robinson in getting there and getting the first down.
Tucker James back in at running back now. Malamura in motion. Bizjack designed quarterback draw. Tucks it. Going to be brought down for a loss in the backfield. Getting there for Carroll by Robbie Ladd getting in there.
Yes, great job by Robbie Ladd staying home. He had Tucker James in the flat out to the right. Decided to run with it. And great, again, Robbie Ladd just playing discipline, playing assignment football. Great play for the Dragons.
Couple negative plays now in the last few for the Carroll defense. Something we didn't see as much on the first series for the Bobcats. We tick under a minute and a half to go. Bizjack rolling out, throws on the run. It is along the sideline, targeted for Dimitri Schmidt. And they're going to say he was in bounds. That's going to move the chains. Big gain for Schmidt. Up to the 36-yard line, picks up 20.
A designed rollout by Byron Nelson, and Bizjack, great job throwing on the run. Great blocks. He was in pursuit by Van Dorsler. Great pitch and catch.
First reception of the year for Schmidt. Came in a big spot. High snap. Bizjack able to pull it down. Hands it off to James on the counter. Avoids one tackler, trying to switch directions at the 25, and is thrown down by Langford. Another first down.
And Tucker James is doing what Tucker James does well. He's an inside zone runner. He's in between the tackles, and doing a great job on catching this three-man front on the Dragons defense and getting into the holes.
Two receivers each side. This could be the final play of the half, as long as it isn't of the quarter, as long as it's not an incomplete pass. Bizjack rolling out again with some room. Now wants to tuck it and run. He's going to be swallowed up at the 30. Big loss there. A couple of Dragons in on the stop. Davidge was one of them.
Watch Van Dorsler here. He's taking the tackle right to the quarterback. Great arm extension. And I tell you what, you can't, again, a designed rollout. Didn't have his man. Tremendous loss. Tackle for loss by the Dragons. This is where they want to put him, Chris.
Fedor also in there on the stop, but that does take us to the end of the first quarter. A lot of offense on both sides. See how the defenses adjust in the second. 7-7 the score. Second quarter coming up on the Dragon Sports Network.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Mesero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Mesero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Start of the second quarter, Byron Nelson on the march again. 127 total yards for the Bobcats in the first quarter, 75 for Carroll. We are tied at 7 after 1. They wait for the clock to reset to 12. But Robert, the Byron Nelson offense has been able to find big plays, picking up chunk yardage 12, 15 at a time. What does Carroll need to adjust to help slow that down?
Well, I think number one, you're not playing checkers, you're playing chess here. And so you're seeing the defense change conceptually from one series to the next, trying to figure each other out. But
Robinson has it. Ball comes out at the 25, and Carroll recovers it. Was scooped up for the Dragons by Marcus Browse after a big hit. Jarred it loose on Robinson.
Great job by the Dragons. I tell you what, they're getting in the second level on their running game with that GT counter. And I tell you what, heads-up play by the Carroll defense. Great hit by Luke Bussman with Marcus Browse coming up and making the scoop. You know, turnovers are going to define this game as well. With these type of heavyweight matchups, they're trading punches for punches, Chris. The little slightest mistake can change the momentum of the game.
Second turnover forced by the Dragon defense this season. They had one forced fumble and recovery last week as well. So one play into the quarter, momentum changes a little bit here in Southlake as they hand it off on first down to Wormley. He picks up about 3 or so.
If you're the Dragon offensive line, this is what you want. We said establish it early and establish it often. You've got to get this defense on their heels. And as you see, the Byron Nelson has made a change on their defensive front as well. They're now rotating into a 3-man front.
We haven't talked about him yet, but Jacobin Julian, a senior outside linebacker, number 13, one of the keys to their defense, as on the reverse, they give it to Brock Boyd, trying to spin forward. Gets just about back to the line of scrimmage.
And Daryl Natuma's heads-up play awareness by the nose guard for Byron Nelson, sniffing out that reverse, forcing Brock Boyd to come back in the interior.
So a long third down for Carroll. 3rd and 7. Brenda drops back. Wide open. Jacquemart out of bounds for the first down.
And again, you're in this cover 2 with Byron Nelson. You're going to have the soft spots. Their corners are playing off a little bit. And watch Luke Jacquemart get underneath the coverage. An excellent read by Angelo Renda, progressing down his read, stepping into the throw and delivering a strike to Luke Jacquemart.
Picked up 15. Jacquemart's second reception of the year. Sounds hard to believe because it seems like we've called his name a lot. He's just been involved in so many facets of the game. Wormley gets to midfield.
You know, he has, Chris. You know, he does it on special teams. He's kind of that slot type of receiver for the Dragons. He's the fastest guy on the team. Riley wants to get the ball in his hands as much as possible.
Will Barley checking into the game at center as Kerry Clayton comes off to the side.
Will Barley, a sophomore. He's Southlake's sixth man on the offensive line. A really good young player.
Bobrowski is the H-back. Handed off again. Wormley still powering through for the first down across the 45. Second time the last couple of carries for him. We've seen that second effort, and he picks up 8 for the first down.
A great job by the young man, Will Barley, coming in at center and getting his name called immediately with Wormley following behind him and Nathan Domraki. Wormley's second effort is pretty phenomenal tonight. He's turning his legs and he's getting that extra yardage and making the extra play the Dragons need.
Back to 4 down linemen. Well, they stand one up on the left edge, does Byron Nelson. Boyd goes out in motion. Renda drops the snap and just wisely throws it away out of bounds along the Byron Nelson sideline. There was pressure coming in a hurry if he tried to make something out of it.
Yeah, good decision by Angelo on that. Just get rid of the ball, live for another down.
Any position that comes in the middle of a series on a change is going to be a challenge, but how much more so is it at center when you're kind of the centerpiece of that offensive line?
Well, number one, the snap. It starts with the snap. You got to get the snap. Number two, again, that center is the field general for the offensive line. He's making the calls. He's telling those guys what to do, what blocks to make, what combinations to do. It is a difficult step to do, or just getting into a position to do that right when you're off the bench, but kudos to Will Barley getting in there when his name is called.
And not even able to go talk to Renda on the sideline for a few seconds before a series starts. Just, let's go. Renda started 4 for 4. That was his first incompletion. It's Gunter in motion. Up the middle, did the ball, no, or did it come out and picked up by a Dragon?
It did come out, and it looked like it was picked up by
Bobrowski.
Heads up play by the tight end there. You see Addison just taking the inside zone right up the middle there. A good swat by number 12. Heads up by Monkowski. Great job.
And it falls forward for Carroll too, so they get a couple extra yards out of it. 3rd and short from the 35. Wormley again, up the middle, big running room, 25, inside the 10, into the end zone for the touchdown. Riley Wormley from 35 yards out. Each running back has a score, and Carroll leads 13-7.
This is the zone offense at its prettiest. You get it front side, you get him flowing, you hit it backside, and you get Wormley in the second level. He turns on the jets. Not many people are going to catch Riley Wormley. Tremendous dog, touchdown Dragons.
Leo Almanza chasing him from behind, trying to swat it loose. I haven't mentioned that Almanza plays both ways a lot of the time for this Byron Nelson team.
You don't see that a lot.
Tommy Pennington, Compass Group, point after try off the foot of Clark Lemmerman is good. And with 8:44 to go in the second quarter, it is Carroll 14 and Byron Nelson 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
A 35-yard Riley Wormley touchdown run has Carroll in front 14-7 a few minutes in to this second quarter, wrapping up an 8-play, 74-yard drive for the Dragons. All kickoffs powered by Macero. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Davin Strange on to kick it away
Mobile is
for
America's
the Dragons.
only Christian.
Malamura and Almanza. Back deep, it's going to be brought out of the end zone. They tried to hold up and dropped at the 12-yard line. It's actually Jesse Kabaya back there for Byron Nelson on the return team, and the hesitation cost him.
Yeah, you got to make a decision here, Chris. You're either getting in the end zone or you're getting out. Dragon return team capitalizes on that one.
You can see Malamura there telling him stay in the end zone, but was just one half step over the goal line and had to go. So this will be interesting, Robert, because what we've seen, and not just this year, but typically, is a team can hang with Carroll for a handful of series, but it's when the plays, or it's when the turnovers start, it's when the penalties start that Carroll is able to pull away. So see if Byron Nelson can respond after the lost fumble. 3 down front for Carroll. James, left side of the line, across the 15.
You have two heavyweights here. They're trading power punches for power punches, and every little mistake's going to count. But, I'll look for Byron Nelson. They've had a lot of success running the ball. They need to slow the tempo down, maybe just a little bit, reestablish this run game. Carroll does an excellent job. Once they get on top, they don't give in too much, and they usually take away with that lead, and it's hard to catch up with the Dragons.
60 rushing yards already tonight for Byron Nelson on 13 carries. That's just under 5 per carry. Robinson right up the middle for a couple.
Great job by Marcus Browse coming in there on the zone, running that heel line of that defensive line, making a big play there, creating 3rd down. This is a big down for Byron Nelson.
See Crawford Taylor there into the game on the defensive line for the Dragons. Zach Hayes also in. So Carroll's using a lot of different bodies on defense tonight, rotating guys in and out quickly. 3rd and short. Nelson has converted all 4 third downs tonight, but they won't get this one as Bizjack is dropped in the backfield. Will Lines, we told you about him before the game, and he gets a stop here.
Know your assignment, play fast, get to the ball. That is what Will Lines does tonight. I'll tell you what, tremendous pressure by the Dragon defense there. Will Lines comes in, finishes it off. That was a big play for this Byron Nelson offense. That's not what they wanted to see happen. Great job by the Dragon defense.
Hayes was the first one there, and Lines came in to finish it off. On to punt it away for Byron Nelson. The flag is thrown.
Play of game. Offense. 5 yards. 4th down.
So that'll back him up just a little bit more. Is David Ogbidi on to punt it away. Jacquemart back to field it for the Dragons. This one is blocked out of the back of the end zone. Blake Gunter coming in, and it's a safety for Carroll.
The super sophomore not only does it on offense, but he does it on defense and special teams. Tremendous job by Blake Gunter. They're backed up in their own end zone. Way to lay out for the ball, Blake. Excellent call by the Dragon defense and their special teams. Getting after the punt, pinned up in the end zone.
They sent everybody. You see Riley Dodge along the Carroll sideline there. That puts the Dragons in front 16-7.
Chris, back when I played, that'd be called a guy wide play. Get in on it.
What do they call it now?
No idea.
It's been too many years since you were on the sideline.
It's been a few, Chris. It's been 24 years.
The homework for next week will be figuring out what the kids are calling it these days.
Sure. Yep.
I think you got sources. 6.5 minutes to go before halftime. Carroll up on Byron Nelson 16-7. To the safety. So Byron Nelson will free kick to the Dragons here. And Carroll getting another possession with an opportunity to put some distance between itself and the Bobcats before halftime.
Well, it's exactly where Byron Nelson doesn't want to be. and this is where the Carroll Dragons excel out. And I tell you what, if you're this Dragon offense and you're this offensive line, you're licking your chops here. You have an opportunity to put another dagger into the Byron Nelson team, and it's going to be tough for the Byron Nelson team to come back.
When's the last time we saw a safety for Carroll? Did we see one last year at all?
Chris, I can't remember yesterday, let alone last year.
So it is kicked away, fielded by Jacquemart inside the 20. Some room to operate across the 30, and he's going to be taken down there. And Carroll will start another offensive possession from just inside its 35.
And it looks like Kerry Clayton's back in at center, so that's good to see that it's not a substantial injury. Again, great job by Will Barley coming in and then fulfilling on the last series. And again, this is when you earn your paycheck here, that offensive line. If I'm Riley, I'm really looking behind them, trying to get them to move the ball down the field, eat up some of this clock.
Penn in the game at running back to open this series. Gunter in the slot right. Three down front for Byron Nelson. Give it to Penn, running right up the middle, and he picks up a couple of yards.
A good job by the Byron Nelson defense there, collapsing and again running that heel line and shutting down that zone. And look for the Dragons to continue to test this front seven of Byron Nelson.
Knowles checks back in as Jacquemart comes to the sideline, adjusting his shoulder pads a little bit. They go trips to the right. The tight end on the left side of the formation. In the flat it goes. Boyd across the 40. Spinning forward just shy of the marker, it appears. The 3rd and inches.
Great job by Knowles out there receiving his little quick screen there and moving the sticks. You know, or actually still at 3rd down. Or are we at 1st down? 3rd down.
Right up the middle it goes. 1st down and then some. Penn up to the 49.
Again, get behind those big guys. Pound out that yardage, move the sticks, eat up some clock. Riley's game plan right now is let's chew it up rest of the second quarter and get into halftime. Let's get some points on the board.
Penn comes up a little bit gingerly, so he will jog over to the sideline as they bring in 4 wide receivers here for this 1st down play. Gunter lining up off left tackle. Now he motions out to the left side. Renda looked at him, now pumps, throws deep down the left sideline for Jacquemart. He's caught it inside the 25. Did he stay in bounds? Touchdown, Carroll. Jacquemart tiptoeing down the left sideline for 51 yards and 6.
And Chris, we talked about Angel Renda's progressions, you know, going through his first read and second read. Watch right here. Great pass protection by the offensive line. He looks off Blake Gunter on his first read. His eyes now go to Jacquemart. Perfectly placed ball, and Jacquemart's got that speed. He gets behind that linebacker and that safety. He's going to make it to the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. Great job.
Well, Jacquemart able to take the top off the Byron Nelson defense, and the Tommy Pennington Compass Group extra point is good off the foot of Clark Lemmerman. So Carroll now with 23 unanswered points. And with 4:40 to go in the second quarter, it's Carroll 23, Byron Nelson 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
So all of a sudden, the Dragons, a few touchdowns, a safety, and lead 23-7 over Byron Nelson with 4:40 to go before halftime. Kickoff brought to you by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Almanza and Malamura back to receive this one. That's who was back there for the opening kickoff. And, well, after the last return attempt, they're not going to risk bringing it across the goal line again. A couple of special teams mistakes by Byron Nelson on that kickoff return and then on the punt that was blocked have really helped Carroll to this lead. High end over end. This one's going to bounce out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, you think about it. When you're playing this caliber of matchup, Chris, the little things, getting the ball out of the end zone on the kickoff return, getting the punt block, those things can swing the momentum of the game, and that's what we're seeing. This is where Carroll wants to be, and this is where Byron Nelson does not want to be. They're going to have to get some points on the board before the half.
And the Dragons get the ball first in the third quarter, so it's a big drive coming up for the Bobcats. Need to come away with some points. Come out spreading them out, 2 receivers each side. James in the backfield. Malamura in motion. Delayed handoff to James. Across the left side with running room across the 40. Gets to midfield and is going to be dragged down out of bounds all the way up near the 30. A flag came in late. The referee tonight, Mike Ritchie. 45-yard gain. Let's see what the marker is.
Personal foul. Late hit. Out of bounds by the defense. Number 22. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's the junior Borges. First penalty we've seen all night.
Yeah, uncharacteristic of the Dragons. But Byron Nelson, that's probably their 7th time they've run the buck sweep with 2 guards pulling. It reminds me a lot of the old Boise State offense from the mid-2000s. They get out there and they're paving the way. And if I was Byron Nelson, keep it in Tucker James's hands.
He's had some explosive plays so far tonight. James, 5 carries, 27 yards this evening. Sean Robinson's actually gotten it more than he has, 7 carries for Robinson. They give it to James again, and he's going to be brought down by Davidge.
It's what Austin Davidge does great. He's that edge presence, and I tell you, he's got that quick first step, gets down the line. And it's a difficult play going all the way backside to front side and getting down the running back. Tremendous job by Austin Davidge.
They go quickly here out of the huddle again. Bizjack hands to James. They run that same play and get positive yardage before the pile is stopped.
Such a difficult play to defend, Chris, when it's run, and they executed very well.
So, defensively, what are some of the things you start to do to slow down that sweep?
You've got to get penetration in the backfield. I mean, that's the key of the game. You can't get walled off. You've got to get upfield. You've got to disrupt the paths of the pulling guards, and you've got to get the running back to change the trajectory a little bit.
So 3rd down, about 3 to go, maybe 4. Robinson into the game at running back. And a timeout is going to be called before this big 3rd down play. by Byron Nelson head coach Travis Pride. We will take the break with him with 3:03 to go in the second quarter. It's Carroll 23 and Byron Nelson 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect their tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
Byron Nelson head coach Travis Pride spending his first time out. Pride in his 9th year at the helm of the Bobcats. 53-43 overall. He was, of course, the offensive coordinator here about 20 years ago now. 04-05. Pretty good Dragons teams back in the early 2000s.
Not too bad.
No, but he's also been the head coach at Wichita Falls, Mansfield Summit, before heading over to Trophy Club and Byron Nelson. So 3rd and short coming up for the Bobcats. Trailing by 16 late in the second quarter. Bizjack has time, now flushed out to the right. Still on the move across the 20, going to try to run for it. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be awfully close. The yard to gain was the 14.5. It's going to be 4th and 1. What do you do?
You got to go for it. I don't think their kicking game is a strong presence, and this is the most critical drive of the game for them. This is a make or break drive and series for them. They've got to go for it.
Break the huddle quickly. James gets the ball running behind those guards with room across the 10, spins out of a tackle inside the 5, and finally brought down just shy of the goal line. But they get behind those guards again, and James picks up the first down.
It's not again, we said it's not an easy play to stop. It's that buck sweep, and you have those 2 guards pulling. It's a convoy out there in front of you. If you're Tucker James, you get right behind him, and you go fight for every yard, and he's doing a tremendous job of it so far.
So 1st and goal from the half-yard line. And now they probably want to take some time. Riley Dodge opting not to use a timeout. There was movement up front.
Looks like 53 Adam Cartwright was a little anxious to try to get in the end zone.
Here from Mike Ritchie again.
Delay of game, defense, disconcerting signals. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Oh, so they're saying the Dragons were maybe the reason that Byron Nelson was a little jumpy up front. Either way, that doesn't change a whole lot. They were already on the half-yard line.
It's a call you don't hear too often, Chris.
Robinson now the running back. And they try to go outside with him, and he's brought down for a loss.
Big Jake Lucky. That presence in there in the interior. He plays that shade over the center. He gets his body, a big 350-pound bench pressure. He gets through and watch and just beats his block. Tremendous job, open field tackle. We saw one of these last week from him. Terrific job from the junior, Jake Lucky.
Are you surprised they didn't just plow straight ahead with James?
Sometimes you got to do what works, and I would just go, you got to go north and south on this thing.
Robinson's still in there. Bring a man in motion. Robinson picking his way through and does get into the end zone this time. Flag comes in late after the play, but after they go back 4 yards, Robinson is able to get in and make it 23-13 with under 90 seconds to go before halftime. Still some discussion going on between the officials. Should mention that it's Texas Official Appreciation Night at stadiums across the state this evening.
Personal foul, defense, number 32, face mask. Penalty be enforced on the kickoff.
It's Will Lines that got flagged for the face mask as Robinson gets into the end zone for his first touchdown of the season. Paquette, the kicker, mentioned the first time they scored. He is also the starting left tackle. And this one is up and through. With 1 minute and 28 seconds to go in the second quarter, it's Carroll 23, Byron Nelson 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Byron Nelson gets on the board for the second time, or finds the end zone for the second time, I should say, after a 7-play, 75-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 12 seconds, ended with a Sean Robinson rushing touchdown, and cut the lead back to 9 for Carroll, 23-14. Personal foul penalty after the touchdown, so that pushes the kickoff forward to the Dragon 45. Kickoff powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. And a line drive kick that will go through the back of the end zone. And Carroll has 88 seconds. See if it can get at least a field goal before halftime.
I think Riley will try to do at least some type of tempo here to see what he can get out of it in the probably the first 15 to 20 seconds here. And you don't want to push it too much, right? Because you don't want to give them the opportunity before half. That was Byron Nelson's biggest drive of this entire game. They had to convert that. So kudos to the Bobcats. But now the Dragons have a chance to respond.
Wormley in the backfield. Trips right. Knowles by himself on the bottom of your screen. On first down, they give it to Wormley. Stiff arms the defender at the 25 and shoved out of bounds after he crossed the 30. So nice pickup on first down, and he stops the clock.
Yeah, good job by Wormley. Not only just picking up the yardage, but finding his way out of bounds, conserve some clock here.
Took just 3 seconds off the clock. Stay in the same formation. 3 receivers right, Knowles to the left. Renda will throw this time. Finds Knowles, settles down at the 40, went down to a knee at the 41, but it's enough for the first down.
A good comeback route by Brody Knowles. Again, finding the soft spot in between the safeties and the linebackers. He's such a big target. You can get that ball to him quickly, and good job on making that catch, getting that first down.
Gunter in motion out to the right. Hand it to Wormley again. Not much there. Carroll does still have 2 timeouts. See if they use one here. Doesn't look like it initially.
And remember, they get the ball at the beginning of the half, so there's not a whole lot of emphasis on you got to get to the end zone here. Let's see what works, and maybe the C's part a little bit, and you get a big play.
Lemmerman has been handling kicking duties today. Renda drops back, has a lot of time, goes deep over the middle of the field for Gunter. It is knocked up into the air and falls to the turf. in coverage for Byron Nelson. Dylan Kelly, the junior safety, running step for step with him over the top.
You know, this is one of the first times we've really seen Angelo kind of unleash it and just get some air underneath the ball. And you could hear the crowd here. There's a little bit of a gasp in the crowd just in anticipation it came down. But, you know, great job by Byron Nelson and Dylan Kelly in breaking that up.
The third down. See if Carroll takes another shot or if they opt to run it and just head to the locker room. Riley Dodge wants to think about it. With 34 seconds left, and we'll take a quick break as well. Just before halftime, it's Carroll 23 and Byron Nelson 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Carroll will have third down and 8 out of this timeout with 34 seconds before halftime. Robert just mentioned before the break, Dragons do get the ball first in the third quarter. Would you take a shot or just run it out?
It's third down. I don't know if you need to force it a turnover or possibly do that. For me, I'm a little conservative. I'd keep it on the ground, see what yards you can pick up, and then use another timeout if you need to.
We've had the same formation this whole drive. 3 receivers to the right side, Knowles to the left. Penn into the game now at running back. Brenda will throw. Has time, throws over the middle, complete to Jacquemart, but he's not going to have enough for the first down. Byron Nelson has 2 timeouts left. Dragons are going to go for it here on 4th down. They line up to at least. Brenda with the hard count, now looks to the sideline. Carroll could take a timeout and just take 1 shot at the end zone on 4th down, but instead it looks like Riley Dodge will head to the locker room as time expires on the first half of play. So Carroll scored 23 unanswered points after Byron Nelson's first touchdown. The Bobcats got 1 back to make it 23-14 at the half. And Robert, we've got a little bit of a game here.
We do. You know, this is what it's lived up to be. You have a packed house on the Carroll side, packed house on the Byron Nelson side. This is a heavyweight matchup. These are the 2 of the best teams in the areas, perennial top 10 teams in the state over the past 2 years. We're getting every bit of what this match is going to be about, but going back and forth. Now, Byron, they had to score in that last drive before half to even make this a contest, I think, for the second half, Chris. So their big key is coming out. Can you bring that to the second half and stop that Carroll offense?
Carroll does have a 9-point lead going into the half and gets the ball first when we come back for the third quarter. But now it's time for the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Steven Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
Halftime at Dragon Stadium. Carroll leads Byron Nelson 23-14 in the District 4-6A opener. Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Bring you the Carroll Band and Emerald Bells performance here in just a little bit. But first, we're joined by our pregame show sponsor, Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty here in Southlake. Kim, thanks for coming up tonight.
Hey, this is so incredible. I'm so grateful to just be sitting here watching the game from up at the top, and what an experience.
It's a pretty incredible atmosphere tonight with the rivalry game against Byron Nelson. Both sides are packed.
Absolutely, and everybody is in their green. Dragon Pride is definitely showing through.
Now, you are a familiar name and face around Southlake. You've been here for more than 15 years, but for anyone who's not familiar with you, tell us a little bit about your family history here in Southlake and what you do in the community.
So I've got one former Dragon who graduated in 2022, my son Cole. He was a proud baseball player, and my daughter is a senior this year. So we are having an amazing time of celebrating her in this accomplishment of her final year of high school. And she is the secretary of the FFA for the Carroll Senior High.
So you've been to your fair share of Carroll athletic events over the last 4 to 6 years, especially.
Absolutely. We have been in part of Dragon Youth Baseball, Dragon Youth Football, and of course the little sister who was always with us tagging along. So it's been some wonderful memories, and we are just so proud of this community and everything that it offers families, and so we just couldn't be, more proud to be a part of this community.
Now, you sponsor our pregame show in real estate, of course. So what is the market like in Southlake these days?
We have a really strong market here. I think right now we're just at a little bit of a holding pattern with rates being a little bit higher. I think as we see things trickle down, we'll start to see some more activity. There are definitely buyers in our market. They're looking for the right property. They're looking for the right price, and they don't want to overpay. That's clearly what we're seeing, some pushback there. But I think we're gonna see a pretty strong fall market, and going into 2025, I think it's going to be a pretty good experience for anybody who's needing to buy or sell.
Now, what makes a good time of year to buy or sell? Is there a better time than others, or is it depend on the year itself?
Historically, first week of January, after the New Year's, we start to see buyers coming in, reload buyers, people coming, exploring their opportunities to move to Southlake. What does the community have to offer people? They might compare us to some other communities and neighboring communities or suburbs. So we start to see the activity pick up, and it gets stronger as it comes into May, June, and July. We typically taper off in August and September, and then the closer we inch to October, we see a fall second surge of activity in the market. So I don't know if there's really a time that's better than the others. It just varies. Depends on what your needs are, really.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now it's a crowded real estate market in the Southlake, Northeast Tarrant County area. So what sets your team apart?
So we've had a lot of changes in the real estate industry. August 17th, we had some new regulations go into place. And I think, one of the things I see a lot in my path is you have the hobbyist and you have the professionals. And I think the professionals in the area are going to continue to rise to the top. And I think those who are dabbling in real estate might struggle a little bit with some of the new regulations and requirements that are being put in place.
Have you seen any changes in the market? We saw the housing boom when the pandemic started. How has it changed since then?
I think if you look at real estate as a whole, it's always going to increase in value. I think right now we're at a plateau. It's kind of just stable. We're seeing a little bit of appreciation, but I think we're going to start to see that trajectory go up again.
Now, you've been involved in our broadcast for a couple of seasons now, taking a bigger role this year as our pregame sponsor. What made you want to expand your role with the broadcast and with Dragon Athletics?
I love to say yes to opportunity. And when Bill said, hey, we have this, my team and I were like, let's do it. This sounds like a great way to just show more support and just be more involved and give back to the community. There's so many ways for people to get involved, and maybe it's not sports, maybe it's some other type of program here in the district, but there's definitely ways to get involved, volunteer, sponsors, all sorts of things. The community comes together, rallies, and really supports the district as a whole.
And I think we see that tonight, especially Dragon Youth Football Night, kind of exemplifies what's possible in a city that has one high school as opposed to multiple, where you do get the whole community behind one mascot, one school pushing in the same direction.
I think when we have people moving here from other places, that's the big sell. We are all Dragons. Everybody's a Dragon. Bleed green. You're just, the whole community, the business owners, stores, restaurants, everybody just looks at ways to support the community. And I think it does rally around the fact that we are all Dragons and we have one high school.
All right, Kim, thanks for the time, and thanks for being a part of Dragon Athletics and Dragon Sports Media.
Thanks for having me.
Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty Group, joining us on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show here at Dragon Stadium. Carroll hosting Byron Nelson tonight in the District 4 6A opener, leading 23-14 at the break. We will take a quick break, and on the other side, we will watch the Carroll Emerald Bells and Marching Band on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified trained dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
The Dragon Den is your home for the best selection of Dragon fan gear in town. We offer many styles and sizes, and we're your Dragon Hat headquarters. 100% of your purchase supports our student athletes and UIL sports grades 7 through 12. We're open weekly during all home football games and most Tuesdays and Fridays 11 to 2. We're everything Dragon. Interested in volunteering with us? We need adult and high school volunteers to work during hours we are open. That's the Dragon Den at Dragon Stadium. Go Dragons!
Dragons lead by 9, 23-14. The score at halftime. District 4 6A opener between Carroll and Byron Nelson here at Dragon Stadium. The Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Byron Nelson Band and Drill Team just finished their halftime performance. And as the Carroll Dragon Marching Band and Emerald Bells take the field, we will carry their performance. That will bring us to the start of the third quarter.
Is Seven Therapy. Premier and high kick sponsors are Market and Motive, Methodist Southlake Medical Center, Foxy Pest Control, Surf Pro Team Chalk, Skin Farm, and Harlan House of Dance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your award-winning Southlake Carroll Emerald Bells. Emerald Bells heading for the quarterfinals of America's Got Talent Season 14. They have been featured on The Ed Hudson Show, Good Morning Texas, and have performed multiple halftime shows for the San Antonio Spurs, Dallas Mavericks, and the Dallas Cowboys. The Emerald Bells have been under the direction of Melissa Page for 28 years. Assistant Director for the Bells is Catherine Cabral. Officers for the Emerald Bells are Captain Lucy Fuller. Senior Lieutenants are Olivia Adamian, Jenna Cantu, Caitlin Parks, and Timothy Sabo. Junior lieutenants are Megan Brickner, Lily Fraga, Skylar Kinesek, and Bridget Lang. This week's Girl of the Week is Senior Shandi Satuna Moral. And this week's Be Kind, Be a Bell is McKenna Schultz. Tonight, the Emerald Bells will be performing a palm routine to Get Ready by Pitbull and Blake Shelton. your Herald Bells. The Carroll Band program has a proud tradition of excellence. The Dragon Band has made 16 appearances at the Texas UIL State Marching Contest, including 2 UIL State Championships. They are Bands of America Regional, Super Regional, and Grand National finalists, and are the recipients of the prestigious International John Philip Sousa Sudler Shield. The Dragon Band is under the field direction of head drum major Benju Kim. Seniors, Jonathan Ueda and Chloe Blanchard. And juniors, Balak Al-Masri and Bailey Reinke. Color guard captain is Miriam Etheridge. Lieutenants are Aditi Prabhu and Anchika Soletti, Avery Kress, and Daniela Aguilar. Tonight, the Dragon Band presents parts 1, 2, and 3 of their competition show, Aquarium. Music selections include Wriggle, Yellow Submarine, and Mahiko Momento. Soloists are Reagan Allen, Julia Fisk, Sophia Kidwell, Sonia Nadu, Layla Reed, and Max Testo. Ladies and gentlemen, the Carroll Dragon Band proudly presents Aquarium. That's your Carroll Dragon Band. Band members of the week are Michael Moore and Hayden Brammer. Color guard member is Mia Booth. Band leader of the week is Jackson Henderson. And the section of the week is the trombones. Diamond sponsors for the band are HDO, State Farm, Vic McLean, Sewell Auto, Lateral Care, and the Inouye family. And platinum sponsors of the week are Metro Champion Auto Care, Son Dental, and Mr. 01 Extraordinary Pizza. Dragon fans, you know what time it is. Get on your feet for the Carroll Fight Song.
Dragon Marching Band wrapping up its halftime performance. That concludes the Feed Store Barbecue postgame halftime show. We're only played 2 quarters so far here at Dragon Stadium. Carroll with a 9-point lead over Byron Nelson. When we come back, we'll have the start of the 3rd quarter on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store Barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak. And another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hey Dragon Nation, it's Tommy Pennington with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Like you, I'm fired up about supporting my Carroll Dragons each year on and off the field. We want the best for our kids, and that's why we're all Dragons. I'm a longtime Southlake resident that knows the real estate market and knows how to get great results. Like your kids, you deserve the best too. Call us today at 817-416-9000. Check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon family to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Hey, Dragon.
We are just about ready for the start of the 3rd quarter at Dragon Stadium in the District 4-6A opener between Carroll and Byron Nelson. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton on this Friday night. And Robert, you had your keys to the game before we got started this evening. How are the Dragons doing?
Well, let's break it down. We have defensively, get pressure on the quarterback. Essentially have 3 sacks on the game. So they are getting that pressure on the quarterback, and I think it's made a difference getting them in those longer 3rd down situations. Then offensively establishing the run. Early and often, they've done that. You know, you have Wormley at 9 rushes at 81 yards and a touchdown, then Penn at 4 for 37, and Penn has a receiving touchdown. So they've been able to assert that really that will against Byron Nelson. Done a fantastic job. And then the crowd's been great. It's been a sold-out crowd. They've been in every moment. They've been up for the big plays, and it has been a factor. So, Chris, I think we're executing on all 3 keys right so far.
Should write these up every week. See if See how you do. Should we keep track if we're 3 for 3 every week?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to make them as general as possible so I win every week, Chris.
Hey, secure, easiest path to victory. Start of the third quarter. Kickoff brought to you by Macero. They kick it short. Fair caught by the Dragons. Shy of the 40. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Well, some of the numbers from the first half. Carroll with 233 total yards. Byron Nelson with 189. Remember, Carroll, the beneficiary of a turnover by Byron Nelson and then also a blocked punt by the Dragons. 119 on the ground for Carroll, 114 through the air. 113 on the ground for Byron Nelson, 76 through the air. So Angelo Renda leads this offense back out there. He was 8 of 10, 2 touchdowns, 114 yards in the first half. Motioning out right, Jacquemart. They get it to him there at the 35, trying to bounce it outside. Does across the 45 before he's finally dragged down on the second level by Dylan Kelly. Gain of 11.
You get Blake Gunter out there with Brock Boyd. Great job on the blocking, but giving the opportunity for Jacquemart to get that little bubble screen out there from Renda. Again, that's almost just like a little run play for them.
Fourth catch for him, now up to 82 yards after the reception. Handoff on first down here, falling forward across the 50-yard line is Wormley.
I think, Chris, you come back out of the second half, you're looking at the two teams, and really offensively, it's almost very comparable other than the passing. You know, both teams have been able to establish the run fairly well, and they brought them in good position to just spin the minor plays that have turned the tide a little bit here.
A turnover for Byron Nelson on that fumble. A couple of special teams mistakes, bringing the ball out of the end zone and giving up the blocked punt. And to Wormley again, spins forward across the 45.
You know, one thing that's a little curious, Chris, is a little bit of the special teams on the kickoffs. I'm not really sure what the thought process is behind some of these squid kicks and the field position-wise, it's giving Carroll opportunities.
3 down linemen for Byron Nelson. They keep feeding the running back, and that will move the chains. I mean, is it just because we saw in week 1 Luke Jacquemart have a couple of big returns, but I wouldn't imagine. But they gave him field position almost at the 40-yard line to start here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an identity thing with the kicking game or what it is, or if there's a master plan behind it. But you know, you're giving the Carroll offense half a field to work with, and they're going to excel at that. And right now, you know, they're just kind of putting their wheel on the running game.
Renda to throw, gets it to Wormley. He's touched the ball on 4 straight plays. He's wrapped up and spun out of bounds near the 30. They are going to Wormley here often to start the third quarter.
And this is where Wormley, as well as a running back, not only is he great in between the tackles, but you get him the ball in space, he is pretty dynamic. And again, picking up 8 to 9 yards on passes, that's what he does well.
They keep it on the ground. They go to Penn this time. Behind the right guard, falls to the 25.
I love what Riley's doing here. He's giving to the big guys, saying, "Hey guys, we're going to eat up some clock here in the third quarter. We're going to move the ball methodically." Getting behind Gary Clayton, Nathan Domraki, and Tristan Dare, you know, it's a great group of guys to get behind and run. You get Penn in there, and it's great that you can spell Wormley for a guy like Penn, who's going to hit that hole just as hard on the inside zone. It's got to be really tough for the Byron Nelson defense.
Bringing Bobrovsky as the H-back. It's not too shabby when you have a D1 commit to spell your other D1 commit. Penn lowers the helmet across the 20, close to a first down.
And again, the game plan, this isn't flashy. There's nothing flashy about this. You're standing between Trent Wilson, Gary Clayton, and Nathan Domraki, and you're running that inside zone. You're trying to get those linebackers downhill.
Gunter into the game now again. The tight end comes off the field. So 1st and 10. Ball at the 19. Boyd, the lone receiver on the right side of the formation. Renda looking to throw, has to step up, gets away from the pressure for a moment, lofts one up to the end zone, and it's out of bounds. Penn was the intended receiver, but Renda did well there just to avoid a negative play.
Yeah, you see the feet of Renda. He's got those kind of magical feet where he can, his pocket presence is so well. He can get in and out of that pocket. He can step up, move a little bit. And as we see, Nathan Dombrowski just came off the field. He lost his helmet. So again, Will Barley, the sixth man, he had a spill at center. Now he's in at right guard.
Swiss Army knife on the offensive line for Carroll. They bring the tight end back in here for this 2nd and 10 play. And hand it off going up the middle. Not much running room there for Penn. Maybe a couple of yards.
You know, though that these plays aren't flashy, but you're eating another stat, which is that clock, which is that invisible time that you don't really count for until you get to the 4th quarter. Riley's doing an excellent job of just churning that time off the clock.
Dragons are 6 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. Face a 3rd and 8 here. They bring Gunter in tight to the formation as well. Now Wormley motions out to the left, empty backfield. Gunter goes out that way as well. Swing it out to Wormley in the flat across the 15. He's going to be shy of the 1st down. And we'll see if Carroll sends out the field goal unit or if they go for it on 4th. They're going to kick.
Yeah, you know, Carroll, they stayed predominantly 10 personnel, 11 personnel throughout the night. Using Brodkowski a little bit, and there you kind of saw, you know, swinging out there almost like a form of a sweep, getting the offensive line, getting on play side. You know, but again, it might not result in a touchdown in the series, but eating that clock up is what the Dragons needed to do coming out.
And it continues to tick now as Clark Lemmerman tees it up for a 30-yard field goal try, brought to you by the Tommy Pennington Compass Group. It's Lemmerman's first field goal try of the season. Gavin Strange is 1 for 1 on field goal attempts. Lemmerman's first of the year is good. And with 6:41 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's Carroll 26, Byron Nelson 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, we truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Clark Lemmerman field goal has the Dragons up 26-14 with 6:41 to go in the 3rd quarter. An 11-play, 50-yard drive, Robert, that took nearly 5 minutes off the clock as the Massaro kickoff is going to go through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, start the second half. Any points on the board is great. 2-score game now, and you know you might not get a touchdown, but the Dragon offense, I mean, they've scored almost every possession, right, Chris?
All but one.
All but one, okay.
And that was because the end of the first half.
Right. But I love the thinking process coming out of that second half and just, hey, let's chew up half the quarter here and let's really put it in their court to get the ball in the end zone. So good coaching so far, and way to start out strong for the Dragons in the first half.
So Byron Nelson coming out here needing points of some sort, as it's been unable to stop the Carroll offense. Got to keep up with them on the scoreboard some way as Robinson gets the handoff, spins out a 1 tackle across the 30, dragged down from behind by Davidge, setting up a second and short.
Robinson gives a good spell to Tucker James. He gives that quick burst and gets into the second level very, very quickly. And I tell you what, he's a dynamic little running back, only a junior, spilling out the senior Tucker James.
I would say the workload's been almost 50-50, if not even skewing more towards Robinson if we were just going off snap count. Robinson gets it again. This time he's hit behind the line of scrimmage and taken down for a loss.
Watch Jack Van Dorsler here. I tell you what, his presence on that edge is something this Dragon defense needs. He's done a phenomenal job the past few weeks, but a way to collapse that edge of the defense and get it in there and get Robinson to the ground. Incredible play. Great job getting the third down situation for Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson converted its first 4 third down tries. Last 2, nada. Dragon defense will try to hold him again here on 3rd and 3. James back into the game at running back. Bring a player in motion. Bizjack throws to the Byron Nelson sideline and completes that one to Leo Almanza, the Baylor commit. And that'll move the chains.
Bizjack, that's what he does great. He can sit there in that pocket. He can deliver those throws. A good little out route there for a first down. And then methodically, they're bringing the ball down as well. They've got to be a little more urgency, though, I feel, on offense to get the ball down.
They're still huddling up after most every play, though they do get out of the huddle quickly and get to the line. They hand it off to James here, running hard off the right edge, and enough for a first down. Check that. That was different running back for Byron Nelson. Anthony Sexton, number 40.
Now we're seeing a little tempo out of the Byron Nelson offense. A little bit of urgency out there after the first down.
Bizjack throws sideline, complete to Almanza again. And he's going to be close to the marker.
And Bizjack is fine. Almanza here, he's getting one of those little short out routes there on the sidelines. It's a good job stopping the clock a little bit, inching closer to that first down. They're starting to find a little bit of groove here, Chris.
2nd and short. And they stop the play clock for just a second to scoot the ball back a couple of feet. Just a 3-man front for the Dragons. Running back goes out of the backfield in motion. Bizjack flushed out of the pocket at midfield. He's going to be brought down and sacked. Austin Davidge, the first one there, and a huge sack by this Carroll defense.
Amazing job by the Carroll secondary. There was nowhere to throw it to, and Austin Davidge coming up from a 2-point stance. Just watch him work his hands. He doesn't lose sight of the quarterback. Great job on hunting him down, get him to the ground. The young man has the quickest step here in DFW, I'll tell you that. Tremendous job, Austin Davidge.
A 9-yard loss on the play, and the Bizjack almost just got to find a way to get rid of that and not take the loss. So 3rd and long. He drops back, has some time, stepped up in the pocket, rolls out. There's a man wide open in the flat with running room across the 35 to the 30, down to the 25-yard line for Byron Nelson, so they convert after the loss. That was Ryan Ippolito. First time we've called his name tonight, but it comes in a big spot for the Bobcats.
Again, Bizjack able to extend the play with his legs. That's the dynamic that he can bring to the table. He can scramble around and watch something to get underneath that coverage like he did there for a first down.
It's a 25-yard gain on 3rd and long. They hand it again to Sexton, running right side, brought down at the 26.
It's interesting because I wonder if there is maybe an injury to Tucker James by chance. We haven't seen him here the second half, the senior running back.
He was used, I don't want to say sparingly, but maybe less than you would have anticipated in the first half.
There could have been something lingering there that maybe you weren't aware of, and coaches made that call here in the second half.
2nd and 9. Bizjack, pressure in the backfield by the Dragons. Sexton avoids it and gets across the 25. A big hit delivered by Will Lines. but a positive play after it looked like the Dragons might blow it up.
Great misdirection by Byron Nelson here, coming the opposite way, getting the flow of the defense one way, and countering the other way. You know, they're pulling some tricks out of the books here just to create some offense, and they've done a good job so far. The Dragons had to bend and don't break defense so far. See if they can stop them here on this third down.
They're 5 of 7 on third downs tonight. Bizjack flushed and brought down out of field goal range as well. And it was William Chen this time coming off the edge for the big loss of 14 yards.
Watch William Chen just shoot out like a rocket here. Tremendous job by the junior. We talked about in the pregame, you've got to get pressure on Bizjack. And I tell you, big third down. You have William Chen coming off the side here. Watch as he doesn't stop. And watch how he follows through on this tackle. He gets it right through, and he gets his body weight down. Great job on the wrap-up. Sack on for the Carroll Dragons. Put him in a 4th and forever.
They're going to go for it because it's kind of in that in-between range where too far for a field goal, but a little too close to punt. So 4th and 19. But before the ball is snapped, we get a timeout called. I believe by Riley Dodge. We will keep it here during this timeout. Carroll's first of the half, and welcome Andrew Griever, president of DYF, joining us here in the booth. DYF, of course, Dragon Youth Football Night, and big night for you guys out here, Andrew. All the kids running out of that Dragon tunnel before the game. What's this night like for you guys?
Well, that's awesome. And you know, we know that DYF works closely with Coach Dodge really to grow the league. What does that relationship look like?
That we have here at Southlake Carroll.
I know you've added flag football as well. What's it been like getting the girls involved in the mix on the field, not just from the sideline, but playing flag football and growing the game that way?
Yeah, they've loved that. I don't know if you've had a chance to go out and watch a Sunday afternoon with Lady Dragon football, but those girls get after it sometimes even better than the boys do. So it's been great. It's awesome to have them a part of the program.
Well, in terms of numbers, we'll talk more DYF in just a moment. We have a big 4th down play coming up here for the Dragon defense. 4th and 19 for Byron Nelson. It is Sexton in there at running back still alongside Bizjack. He drops back to pass, has to step up in the pocket, and he's going to be sacked again. 3rd time on this drive, the Dragon defense has come up with a sack. That is 6 sacks tonight for the Carroll defense for the 2nd straight week.
No other than, is it Austin Davidge and Jack Van Dorsler putting the pressure on. Just watch Jack Van Dorsler, his extension on the offensive tackle, collapsing the pocket, forcing Bizjack to come up. Way to get off the block. That's the pass rush we talked about, Chris, that the Dragons needed to bring tonight, and they're bringing it in full force.
So Byron Nelson turns it over on downs. Carroll offense will take over here with under a minute to go in the 3rd. We continue to visit with Andrew Griever, president of Dragon Youth Football. Tonight is DYF night here at Dragon Stadium. On the 1st down play for Carroll, Renda hands off to Penn running left side. He's brought down after a couple of yards. But Andrew, in terms of numbers, what are we talking about with DYF? Because before the game, it seems like that line just goes on and on for minutes. So what kind of enrollment are you talking about?
Yeah, so we have K through 6th boys, and we have about 506 participants in that age group. And then on the girls' side, we have around 175 this year. So lots of kids, lots of teams.
This one complete to Brock Boyd across midfield. That's enough for a 1st down. And we know you use volunteer coaches, everybody, including this guy to our left right here.
Yeah, we've got an army of coaches that help out all during the week at practices. Mr. Clayton here coaching a 4th grade football team, helping out. So, it takes a lot of dads, a lot of volunteers to make this organization run. And I think it's the best recreational organization there is in the state of Texas.
Riley
Thanks
Dodge,
to our volunteers. Yeah.
Riley Dodge going to let the quarter expire before he has his offense run another play, which gives us a chance to visit a little bit more. But let's break it down. How's Robert's team looking?
Robert's got a good team. At that age, it's the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the No's. So
we're doing technique. We're doing pass rush drills. We're leading with our hands. We're getting after blocks. We are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you that. I'm saying it right here tonight.
Right here. The
4th grade Dragon Green.
That's right.
The challengers out there listening, Robert's calling you out right now.
They're breaking pencils at home. Like, it's not going to happen. It's actually really incredible. And listen, what Andrew does is incredible for the city, the community. It takes a lot. Tonight is a lot. And, seeing everyone out there in it, I know it looks like it's running seamless, but it's not that easy. But you got some things ahead. You have the DYF golf tournament coming up next week. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that and what's that all about.
Yeah, we've got we have to do a lot of fundraising just to help with the cost of the league for the kids. So we have an annual golf tournament that we have on Monday at Grapevine Municipal Golf Course. We've got some great sponsors that are going to help out with that. We've got an army of volunteers from moms and dads that are going to be out there and are going to help run a great tournament for us. It is our largest fundraiser, so it's a big day on Monday. This on Friday night, followed by the golf tournament on Monday. It's a busy weekend.
Plus, you got your normal game Saturday and Sunday.
Tomorrow, right?
Games tomorrow. Yep.
Carroll's starting with the ball. They've flipped field to start the 4th quarter, leading by 12, 26-14 in this District 4-6A opener. Renda on first down, has some time flushed out of the pocket, and will just throw it away. Flag out in the backfield as well. We'll see what this one is for. But mention you have games this weekend, and that's pretty much the trajectory for most of the fall, right? So how can people come out and watch and support?
Yeah, we have we have flag games at Dawson Middle School starting either at 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on the time of year. Right now it's starting at 8 o'clock, running through about 2 o'clock. And then we have tackle games starting with 3rd grade through 6th grade at CMS and at CHS on Saturdays. So we'll be out there every Saturday, have anywhere from 6 to 11 tackle games, and we've got, I think it's 15 to 18 flag games. And the girls are doing LDF on Sunday nights out at Dawson. So we'd love to have people come out and watch.
It's Carroll's first penalty of the game, if I'm not mistaken, and it backs him up 10. Second of the face mask penalty in the end zone that pushed the kickoff ahead. So 2nd and 20. Renda drops the snap, picks it up, fires over the middle. It is complete to Boyd, spins past the original line of scrimmage for a pickup of 12.
Well, it's a great job by Renda here. You're staring down a 1st and 20. It drops the snap, steps up, delivers a strike, takes about 12 yards off the yardage mark, puts them in a manageable 2nd down. That's, we're seeing more and more of this in the composure of Angela Renda, Chris.
Yeah, as drop snap, could have lost the composure. Instead, does a nice job to get positive yards out of it. Back into normal down and distance on 2nd and 8, and they give it to Wormley, cutting across the 40. Brought down awfully close to the 1st down marker.
And Andrew, I'll leave you with this, and we'll part ways here. But one question I had: it takes a lot to do this. You have 2 kids within the community. Why do you do this?
Man, I just think this organization has meant so much to this town over the last 15, 20 years, and I just want to keep building on that tradition and helping protect the tradition. And the kids have a great time. They love it. You see them tonight running out there. It's so cool. So that's why I chose to do this.
Well, it's an incredible. I know it's a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, there's a lot of planning. Thank you for being selfless and taking this on and helping the kiddos out.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I'll just say thank you to the other volunteers on the board and in the community that help run DYF as well. I'd hate to not leave them out tonight. So I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That is Andrew Griever, president of Dragon Youth Football, joining us here in the booth on Dragon Youth Football Night. Big event, ton of people out here at Dragon Stadium this evening. kids, parents, everybody, as Renda looks to throw, lofts one up to the left side of the end zone for Knowles, and it falls incomplete. In coverage for Byron Nelson was Jesse Kabaya, and it'll be third down.
Of course, when we saw that ball come out, Renda's hand, hair started to stand up a little bit because, Knowles out there in the target. We talked about him being a red zone or getting there and getting above the safeties and being a guy who can stretch the field. He's the one that had that back.
So 3rd and 4 for the Dragons. They keep it on the ground. Wormley spins out of a tackle. The ball came out, picked up by the Dragons, and back down on the ground with it was Kerry Clayton. Clayton looked like he wanted to scoop and go for the first down.
Well, I tell you, he has way more agility than his uncle does, and he also has more rushing yards than his uncle's ever had, too. So
just on that touch.
Great job, young man, on awareness and getting on that ball.
So it is 4th down, and Carroll is going to try the field goal here. It's going to be a long one. Clark Lemmerman out for the attempt. Ball is at the 31-yard line, so it's going to be a 48-yard try for Lemmerman. From the Tommy Pennington Compass Group, it is up, and it is off the mark to the left and a touch short, so Lemmerman cannot convert on the long 48-yard field goal try, and the Dragons will give it up on downs, leading by 12 here with 9:39 to go in regulation.
And the volley match back and forth, Chris, I mean, again, this is, we mentioned this isn't checkers, this is chess, and this game, we knew it was probably going to be a tight game, but again, this is clock management here, right? You're already into the fourth quarter. Byron Nelson's down by 2 scores. This isn't an easy situation for them to be in, but the Dragons are doing everything right. They're eating the clock away, barely missing on a field goal. If they can keep Byron Nelson out of the red zone and keep him on their side of the field, there's not much clock left in the game.
That was the first Carroll possession that did not result in points, if you discount the halftime break not costing them, as they hand it to Robinson on first down, and he's stopped by Lyons, the last 2 games for the Dragons, Lyons has been everywhere defensively.
Yeah, we talked about assignment and just knowing your assignment, getting downhill, and that's what he's doing. And Austin Davis just getting penetration, getting upfield. But Will Lyons, that's what you have to do. I mean, he does. He's such a tremendous player coming downhill. He's a fast guy. Him and Browse have had a great night tonight so far.
Over the middle, this one's complete to Parker Almanza, the junior receiver. Picks up a few up to the 35.
And again, the gain tackling by the Dragons. I love watching film because you see the hat on the hat. You see the white hats surrounding and crowding the ball, putting him in a third down situation. And they're going to have to put it in the air here. Watch for the Dragons to pin their ears back and get to the quarterback.
Break the huddle quickly, does Byron Nelson. Jack drops back, throws over the middle, batted down at the line of scrimmage. It was Lyons again who got a hand on it.
The game from last week in production points isn't too far from him this game, Chris. He's having a game for himself. I tell you what, it feels like we're calling his name every series. We talked a lot about him in the pregame. He's just coming on very strong for this Dragon defense, especially this linebacking core. Doing a great job getting his hands in the air. Great blocked pass from Bizcheck.
Remember the last time Byron Nelson punted, Carroll was able to block it out of the back of the end zone for a safety. They don't bring the pressure after it again this time. Fair catch is called for by Jacquemard. He makes it at the 34. And we will take a break before the Carroll offense heads back out for its next possession. With 8:32 to go in the fourth quarter, it's Carroll 26 and Byron Nelson 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
Carroll takes over after the punt. They give it to Wormley, running to the left side across midfield. Slowed down and finally brought down across the 40. Wormley's well over 100 yards as he takes that one to the 39.
Hey, Chris, we talked about a heavyweight punches tonight, going right at the ribs all night, and then you come here with a haymaker on the outside zone. You're letting Wormley's speed do it justice here. He catches that corner, and he's hard to catch. Tremendous speed by the young man. First down, Dragons.
15 carries for 134 yards for the senior running back. Why not? Give it to him again. Across the 35, down to the 34.
Again, getting behind Trent Wilson and Gary Clayton and Dom Rocky. Young man deserves a spell now as you have Penn check into the game.
But Wormley coming into today at 189 rushing yards in the first 2 games of the season. He's got an outside shot to surpass that total tonight. But you figure the Dragons will keep it on the ground. For the most part, they've done it for most of the night. Penn gets it now on second down. His burst up the middle. Inside the 25.
It is so hard to stop these two, especially getting behind a maturing offensive line with, watch Luke Wilson, Bobcats, and Trent Wilson. He just finds that gap. And we've always talked about Penn. He has that vision. Once he gets to the second level, he can put his head down and he can go.
There are a couple of Byron Nelson players slow to get up. It's like one is a cramp for sure. So they elevate the leg of Grayson Tracer. 16, the junior, getting up. Now both walking off the field. I believe the other one was Zachary Furnos, senior defensive end. But they are both getting up and walking off without much of a limp at all. So good to see those guys get off the field on their own power. Now the Dragons will come back out for another first down snap. Carroll has not faced many third downs here in the second half. Just 2 third down plays for the Dragons since the third quarter began. Penn gets it again, across the 20, spins inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line.
Chris, this offensive line is I can't tell you enough about them. Watch them just move the front 7 about 5 yards into the second level. And watch where Penn gets into here. He has a mountain in front of him blocking. He's not even touched until about 5-6 yards into the second level. Tremendous job by the Carroll offensive line, and way to run, Davies Penn.
Well, you talk about the strength of Trent Wilson all the time, but when you see those slow motion replays of him just getting guys off the line, it's really impressive. As Renda, under pressure, is just going to throw it away.
Yep. Trent Wilson, he's the strongest man ever in Southlake Carroll history. He owns every single record from bench press to squat to power clean. He's the guy who's going to JMU, every stat, and he's just a worker. He's a leader. He's been on this offensive line since his sophomore year, a ton of experience, and he's just one of those road graders, Chris. He can do everything.
First team all-district selection last season, as it'll be third and looks like less than 2. Dragons 6 of 9 on third down tonight. Penn, the running back. See if they give it to him. They do. Davis Penn inside the 10-yard line for the first down. There's check that. Saul Montezolo on the stop.
And you look across that board of that offensive line, Luke Wilson, we talked about him being a sophomore. The brother of Trent Wilson, then Kerry Clayton, the center, junior, Nathan Domrocky, the right guard, and this another sophomore, Tristan Dare. No, we came into the season kind of questioning, hey, how are these sophomores going to react on the bookends here? And I'll tell you what, they've done a really good job so far, especially against some decent competition. And I couldn't be more impressed with that group and how they're gelling in and really taking over a game right now.
On first and goal, Penn gets it again. Spun down by Montezolo. And it's not a front that we've talked a ton about tonight for Byron Nelson, but you were interested in seeing how the right side of that defense would fare against the Dragons O-line with Montezuolo and Jacobin Julie.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the week on what that 3-man front or that 4-man front, and I think I told you a little bit, just as offensive lineman, you'd much rather block a 4-man front. It's much easier for combinations and getting your positioning on the second level. And I think the Dragons have exploited that a little bit, tonight. When they switch in the 3-man front, it's a little different. It's harder for the blocking schemes to develop. But I think overall they've really taken advantage of what Byron's given them,
And Davis Penn just picking up a couple of yards at a time here, but Riley Dodge has got to be fine with it as the clock just continues to run, with Carroll getting a bunch of plays off inside the Byron Nelson 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5 here. Penn stays in there. And 3 receivers to the right. Bobrowski on the left side. On 3rd down, Penn gets it, looking for room up the middle. Is going to be stopped short of the end zone. And Travis Pride, so far, not choosing to use any of his timeouts. The clock continues to tick.
Yeah, it's interesting. You think you might want to save a little bit of time on the board, Chris, here.
It looks like they're going to go for it. I guess either you get it or you leave them with 98 yards to go. Wormley checks back in. On 4th down. And let the play clock tick down a little bit more. And try to punch it in from the 2. They'll give it to Wormley. Straight up the middle, and he is in for the touchdown. Riley Wormley for 6, and that could ice it with 3.5 minutes to go. The Dragons go up 32-14.
It's a great job, again, by the Carroll offensive line. Hat on the hat, and misdirection by Barkarski, and then you get Wormley right off tackle, diving into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. I tell you what, Wormley deserved every bit of that touchdown for this drive on what he did. Congrats.
Tommy Pennington Compass Group point after try is up and good off the foot of Clark Lemmerman. And a long drive by the Dragons puts them up 33-14. It took more than 5 minutes off the clock. 3:32 to go in the 4th quarter. It's Carroll 33, Byron Nelson 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Hey Dragon Nation, it's Tommy Pennington with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Like you, I'm fired up about supporting my Carroll Dragons each year on and off the field. We want the best for our kids, and that's why we're all Dragons. I'm a longtime Southlake resident that knows the real estate market and knows how to get great results. Like your kids, you deserve the best too. Call us today, 817-416-9000. Check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon family to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Dragon Band strikes up Hey Baby after the Riley Wormley touchdown run to put the Dragons up 33-14. And the Massero kickoff is going to be fielded and fair caught, rather, by Byron Nelson's Ezra Malamura, and trailing by 19. Grant Bizjack will get the ball back. All kickoffs powered by Massero. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Massero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Massero, where love is always on the house. Well, Robert Riley Wormley tonight, 18 carries, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. Probably his best game, at least statistically, of the season.
Just dynamic. He's doing it in all phases of the game. He's doing it running, he's doing it catching. He's working for the extra yards, which you don't see on those stats, are the yards after contact. And he's doing a phenomenal job of that. He's just such an asset to the Dragon offense. You take him out, you pick your pill, right? You have Davis Payne coming in. It's not as easy as it looks.
That one completed to Leo Almanza for the first down. Those numbers for Wormley come out to 12.8 yards per carry. Almanza goes in motion. Bizjack, you would assume, would be throwing most of the time. He's chased out of the pocket, completes it to Robinson across the 45 and into Carroll territory for another first down. We'll need to make sure that we tell you who the attack team players of the week are for the Dragons. The offensive attack team player of the week, Austin Trin for Carroll. The defensive attack team player of the week is Drac Threlkill. We got a flag down here.
And that was a receiver downfield. Number 66, the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that negates the gain by Robinson. Just over 3 minutes to go. We do have all 3 timeouts, and we talked about it briefly, but still a little surprising that they kept all 3 timeouts as Carroll just killed so much clock in the red zone.
Yeah, it was didn't understand why they would do that, but again, maybe it was a situation they knew that Carroll was probably going to score. They just want to get the ball back and try to get downfield. But even now, you got to work the ball downfield, right? I mean, the running game's been great, but we're in the fourth quarter. You've got to take some chances down the field.
Robinson on the carry again. Hayes on the stop.
Great job by Zach Hayes running that hill line and getting down and making the play.
Byron Nelson just kind of letting this one run out. Under 3 minutes to go. Not much of a sense of urgency to get back up and snap the ball. Parker Almanza in motion. Give it to Robinson again. They're keeping it on the ground here. It's going to be 3rd and long after another loss.
And I love some of the adjustments. We've seen this in the second half so far. We talked about how do you stop these pulling linemen. You get penetration. And so you stop them in their tracks, and you'll see Zach Hayes here. That's how you blow up this style of offense. You've got to go downhill and attack it. And great job by the Dragon defense.
3rd and long from the 30-yard line. Byron Nelson 6 of 10 on 3rd down. Bizjack flushed out of the pocket on the run across the 35. They're going to keep the clock running. Said he didn't get out of bounds, according to the official. It'll be just back to the original line of scrimmage for 4th down.
And I feel like this is the 3rd week in a row, Chris. We've seen the adjustments really from second quarter on, midway through the second quarter of the Dragon defense, which hats off to Lee Munn being able to really adjust the defense and start attacking the ball, and they've done that tremendously, especially in the second half.
They're going for it on 4th and 11. Almanza in motion. Bizjack to throw. Doesn't have much time again. Gets it out over the middle. It's caught for the first down at the 50-yard line by Parker Almanza. Rather, Ezra Malamura on the catch for Byron Nelson. A gain of 13 and a first down. Just over a minute to go here as the clock winds down. Bizjack throwing again. Complete to Leo Almanza and out of bounds. This one will stop the clock. Well, Carroll, next week will have another tough test. One of the new opponents in the district, Euless Trinity. That game will be on the road at Pennington Field.
A familiar foe, to say the least. They've met in the playoffs a few times, and that is always a battle. And what I'm excited most about, Chris, is getting back to Pennington Field, and we'll have a history lesson on Pennington Field next week. Back in the 80s and 90s, that was, quote-unquote, Carroll's second home field. And so we'll talk a little bit about some of that tradition, and that's going to be a really neat experience. And a lot of these Dragon fans here haven't experienced that before, but that used to be a home for Southlake Carroll.
Illegal snap on the center. 5-yard penalty. First down.
If you want to know who Byron Nelson plays next, it's also Trinity. Bobcats have their bye next week. So Some of the top teams in the district, what you would expect would be among the top teams in the district, all getting each other out of the way in the first week or two. Under a minute to go here on DYF night at Dragon Stadium. Bizjack under pressure again, heaves one up towards the end zone. It is. Was that caught? It was caught for a touchdown. Through a couple of defenders, Ezra Malimura comes up with it. Long pitch and catch for the Bobcats for 6.
We talked about the deep ball capability of Bizjack. In watching him descend here off his back foot, throwing up a prayer of sorts, but I tell you what, there is accuracy in that throw, and great concentration by Ezra.
Riley Dodge earlier this week said the deep ball was one of Bizjack's strengths, and we saw it there, especially, as you said, without much behind it, just all arm strength to get it 40-plus yards in the air to the end zone.
Please reset the game clock to 49 seconds. 4-9.
Take 5 seconds off the game clock. Now 33-20 the score, with the extra point to come. Still a 2-possession game. Byron Nelson still has not used the timeout. Paquette on for the point after. Snap is down, and the kick is good. With 49 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, the score now Carroll 33, Byron Nelson 21 on the Dragons Sports Network.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
Less than a minute to go as Carroll tries to ice this District 4 6A opener against Byron Nelson. 33-21 the score after Bobcats get a long touchdown reception from Ezra Malimura, returning starter at wide receiver for them. Now Carroll brings its return team way up, expecting an onside kick here from the Bobcats. Got 2 guys up there to kick it. The kick is out of bounds. And Carroll will have it at the 45-yard line. Have to snap the ball a couple of times and we'll be done.
Yeah, it's probably, for Byron Nelson they've had 2 weeks, very physical games, come down to the wire, and then you come into a Carroll Dragon game that emotions are high, and it was a slugfest at first, and they've had an injury obviously to Tucker James, and probably a week to get healed up and make another run throughout the district to set them up for playoffs is probably what they're going to need. But a very talented team, they're explosive, and they got a good core offensive line and running backs.
Yeah, a lot of, you said close games. Week 1 they played Friendship, which Carroll saw in the playoffs last year. Won that one 48-46. Then played Louisville last week, won it 32-28. So been involved in some very tight contests and have played this one close. If not for a couple of mistakes on special teams and a turnover, could be talking about a different story.
Yeah, that was the turning of the tide of the game, and that was tough for them because it took the wind out of their sails, so to speak, Chris.
Well, that will be the final snap tonight, and a big district opening win for the Dragons. Byron Nelson got Carroll last year in district play. The Dragons come out and open district play this year with a 33-21 win, and it feels like it's becoming sort of a theme that we talk about, kind of a theme consistently with the Dragons. Last week it was penalties for Hebron. This week, turnovers, mistakes on special teams for Byron Nelson. But it's really hard to hang in for 4 quarters with Carroll if you don't play mistake-free football.
Well, it's what we hear from every coach that we talk to as well is Carroll's culture, right? I mean, it's a brand of football that is disciplined. They don't make a lot of mistakes. That's why they're so successful year in, year out. And they've been doing it for over 30 to 40 years, and that's not by chance. It's because it's what the program is about. It's what the culture is about. It's why this night is about DYF. It starts at a young age and it carries up to the varsity.
Nice. That was smooth. Link it back to DYF and your closing thought of the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, Carroll.
I'm good. Chris, I'm good.
Carroll gets off to a 1-0 start in district play, 3-0 overall. Byron Nelson now 2-1 overall and 0-1 in district play. So Carroll winners tonight, 33-21 over Byron Nelson. Take a break, come back, wrap some things up, look at scores from around the district, and get you Scott Farrell's stat board after this on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown. Hello.
Dragons 33, Bobcats 21. The final score at Dragon Stadium tonight in the District 4-6A opener. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you after this Carroll win on our broadcast presented by White's Chapel Methodist Church as the Dragons wrap up the school song down on the field. And Robert, we talked about how important this one would be in setting the tone for district play for both of these teams. And Carroll got it done tonight.
I think you can see the smile on Riley Dodge's face. I think deep down he knew how important this win was. Number one, it was to start off district. And number two, it sets the tone, right? And this was a tone-setting game. This can set the trajectory for the Dragons, for the rest of district, and then set them up for playoffs. And I wouldn't say that the game was neck and neck all game, but you could definitely see the talent on Byron Nelson's side. But again, the Dragons, when they make adjustments in their coachability and the way they play, we've seen it week in, week out. Just a tremendous job. And it's week 3 of the season, and you love seeing that.
A look there at Riley Wormley, who had a huge game tonight. 140 yards on 18 carries, a couple of touchdowns. And we've talked about this a lot, but people think of Southlake Carroll football and they think pass-heavy offense like from the Todd Dodge days. But that's not the identity of this team in the same way now. And it was pretty balanced last year. This year it almost feels like it's skewing even more towards the running game with these two backs that you have.
Well, absolutely. And why wouldn't you? You have two huge assets in the backfield, and you have a young developing wide receiver core with a little bit of veteran leadership there where, you can rely on this offensive line who's incredibly athletic, and, and you put that game on their shoulders here in the second half and say, hey, we're going to win it behind y'all, and, Wormley and Penn, we're going to do it with you. And that's an identity, Chris, right? I mean, for Carroll to be successful long term, not only in district but in the postseason, they're going to have to be able to run the ball. And honestly, going back and looking at all the great Carroll teams, they've had a dynamic running game in all facets of the game anytime they win a state championship.
Got a fun look at a lot of the players and their families taking photos on the field after the game. Of course, DYF night tonight as well. So this was one of the nights of the season that's always a lot of fun to see and brings the entire community out. And it didn't hurt tonight that it was against an opponent that people wanted to come see this matchup.
It doesn't get much better on a Friday night. You had a sellout stadium on the Carroll's home side. You had the visitor side completely sold out. Every youngster tonight got to see what it feels like, especially against guys they've played against in the youth leagues. And that was something special. And, seeing a crowd in here in Southlake and do this, sold out, getting behind the Dragons is something special. And I tell you what, having the kids here, I mean, it's just a special night all around, Chris.
Well, looking at some scores from around the area, so some top games and other teams in District 4-6A. For the district, everyone playing their opener tonight. Eaton had the bye in the first week. Again, it's a 9-team district, so always going to be an odd-numbered week with one team. But this one, LD Bell and Timber Creek. Timber Creek had jumped out to a huge lead at halftime, 41-10. But in the third quarter, LD Bell outscores them 23-3. It's now 44-33. So things tightening up a little bit at Pennington Field tonight in Bedford, I guess, is where the actual city that it's in. Elsewhere, not in district, but a rivalry game being played tonight at SMU, Highland Park and Jesuit. Scots lead that one 36-14. Also in District 4-6A, Justin Northwest up on Keller 20-7. That one's in the fourth quarter, as are Trinity and Keller Central. The Trojans lead at 48-24 over at Keller ISD Athletic Complex, and that's a Trojans team that the Dragons will see next Friday.
A lot of history between the two programs. They typically meet in the playoffs, and there's some wild games, to say the least, of those two encounters. So I expect motions to be pretty high.
One of the other big ones outside of this one tonight that high school football fans were watching was North Crowley and Geyer, and North Crowley has been leading by a wide margin in that one, 42-21. They went on a 28-0 run in the second to really build some space. And Dragons' opponent last week, Hebron at Lancaster tonight, a Lancaster program that's been pretty good the last few years. Hawks are hanging in there. That one's 27-20 in the third quarter right now. So that's a look at scores from around the area as we take you through some of the numbers from this one. Total yardage, Carroll didn't outgain Byron Nelson by a ton, just by about 40 or so, 381 to 328. But it's the turnovers and the field position that make the difference.
Yeah, it's the little things, right? And you hear it a lot. And any of you youngsters out there listening to this, when your parents say it's the little things that matter, well, it goes the same in the games. And special teams, all facets of the game, turnovers, those small mistakes can lead to what we saw tonight. And it's hard. It's hard to overcome those.
Carroll did it with 227 of those yards on the ground, 154 through the air. Byron Nelson, 131 rushing yards and 197 passing yards for Carroll tonight. Angelo Renda goes 12 of 16, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not that dissimilar of a stat line than he had last week, with not a ton of attempts, but efficiency and a couple of touchdowns. On the ground for Carroll, mentioned Wormley, 18 carries, 140 yards, 2 scores, nearly 13 yards per carry. Davis Penn, 14 rushes, 84 yards. He also had a catch for 8 yards and a touchdown. And in the passing game, Wormley had 3 receptions for 28 yards. Brock Boyd had 4 for 38. And Luke Jackmart, 4 for 82 and a touchdown. Sort of a breakout game for him, at least in the receiving end of things.
Well, you're seeing this every week, right, with a different Carroll receiver. Boyd is kind of a mainstay. He's going to get his yards and he's going to get his catches. But if you see the other receiver stepping up, it's Jack Mart, it's Brody Knowles, it's Caden Mackey. It's every week it's something different. And so you like to see that, right? Because it means you're getting the guys, you're just not staring down one receiver, you're getting multiple guys involved in the offense.
Yeah, it's been Boyd with 4 more catches in each of the first 3 games. And in week 1 it was Mackey with 3. In week 2 it was Knowles. And this week it's Jacquemart with a few. So we're now it's Blake Gunter next week is who is
That's
next
right.
up against Trinity. For Byron Nelson, the quarterback, Bizjack, 16 of 18, an efficient night, 197 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground. It was Tucker James, 9 carries, 83 yards and a score. And Sean Robinson, 13 for 48 and a touchdown as well. Leo Almanza, 7 receptions for 61 yards, and Ezra Malamura, 2 for 56, including that long touchdown there late in the fourth quarter. Again, Tucker James didn't play in the second half, was not in the game as much as we might have thought in the first half, so hopefully all is good with him, and hopefully the bye week next week helps them get rested up for also Trinity in 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah.
So district opener is in the books. Carroll starts 1-0. And Robert, any final thoughts on the game or DYF night before we say goodbye till next week?
Well, I thought it was an incredible atmosphere. And, Dragon Nation, as you're listening, we need this every home game. It was an incredible experience for this game tonight and these kids, and played a huge factor in this game in big swinging moments. But I thought it was great to see the kids on the field. And it's just an incredible night. It's a great night for the community.
A good win for the Dragons, 33-21. Once again, the final score. We will talk to you next week from Pennington Field in Bedford when the Dragons take on Trinity, a storied matchup in the history of Texas high school football. Certainly there will be a lot of eyeballs on that one for a second straight week for the Dragons. So for our producer, Bill Webb, director, Tim Polsard, statistician, Scott Farrell, and for Robert Clayton, not Creighton.
It's okay.
Got stuck on Creighton last week against Hebron. Chris Blake saying so long from Dragon Stadium, where once again the final score, Carroll 33, Byron Nelson 21. We'll talk to you next week on the Dragon Sports Network.
This week's Dragon football broadcast has been brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell, Briggs Freeman Sotheby, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, Tommy Pennington Realty Group, Macero, All-Star Orthopedics, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, Hearst Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, AC Pros, and Mills Wealth Advisors. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons!